Yup. My button didn't work. Woke Mike's going to call me out for still having progressive matters on the end of that. My button didn't work. I pushed the buttons and the buttons didn't work. What's going on, guys? It's Wednesday. It's crazy out there. I mean, it is crazy out there. Holy shit. If you are here today, guys, that means you guys are a bunch of godless heathens that did not get raptured, and that's why you guys follow me. I don't have a soul, so I had no chance. But the rest of you, you had a chance, and you done fucked up, Ron. I heard that it's a 2-day deal, though. I did hear that the rapture is actually the 23rd and the 24th, 2 days only in September. Es muy caliente, the rapture. So you still got a chance. I think it's until midnight tonight. You guys have until midnight to get raptured. So if you guys are here for my show tomorrow on this space.tv, then I'm going to know that you guys didn't get raptured. Just throwing that out there. Also, all the MAGA people still around didn't get raptured either. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to start by talking about the fact that my Eagles won again, 3-0, baby. Okay, and anybody that didn't see that game, it was crazy. We destroyed the Rams by like 1,000,000 points. It wasn't even close. It was absolutely insane how bad the Rams got beaten. No, it wasn't actually. We won on a blocked field goal at the end of the game. And we had 35 yards of offense in the first half. It was a very sad morning for me. The worst thing in the world for me is to have to wake up at 10 o'clock. Well, wake up before 10 o'clock. But to watch the 10 o'clock in the morning football game and watch the Eagles get 35 yards of offense in the first half. It was difficult to deal with. It was difficult to deal with. All my 49ers fans out there right now, 3-0 somehow with Mac Jones as your quarterback. You don't even have a receiver, okay? I don't know how this is, but obviously if Brock Purdy is here tomorrow, not a true follower of Jesus Christ, because guess what? Didn't get raptured. Just throwing it out there. That's probably why you guys lost in the NFC Championship to the Eagles. Because Jesus actually does not like Brock Purdy. He likes Jalen Hurts. But he's not going to rapture him because we need to keep the team together. Anyways, a lot of crazy things going on out there. I've now seen in some police blotters people having the cops called on them for being Antifa. Excellent. Great. Totally not crazy. Totally not crazy at all, guys. Why are people calling the cops on people for being an Antifa? Because they were wearing all black. Guys, I wear all black quite often. How long? How long until I get gulag, guys? It's not going to be long. That's the answer to that. I can't, guys.
I love the poorly educated.
Anyways, at least there's football. You know. I've still got Saquon Barkley. I've still got Jalen Hurts.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
Okay.
Look at him.
Still got them in my life. Still good for that. But, yeah. So, things are a little crazy. And I just looked down at my recording button and it didn't say it was recording. I got scared. But it looks like I'm recording. I'm okay. All right. Things are all right. It's a weird time right now. I don't know. Did I get raptured? Am I in heaven? Are you guys in heaven with me? Am I being forced to go to work every day while in heaven? I don't think that's how it works, right? That's hell. That's hell, right? Fucking squirrel in the CERN machine back in 2020. I'm telling you guys. All right, let's say hi to guys, and then let's talk about all the funny stuff. Let's talk about all the funny stuff that is going on, because this is a funny show. We got a lot of funny stuff today. What's happening, Silent Siren? Driving and listening. Drive safe, my friend. Suzanne, what's happening, Suzanne? Vonda, what's going on, Vonda? Mama Brooke, what's going on, Mama Brooke? Hope you guys are having a great week as well. Michelle, what's happening, Michelle? KR, all the way over there from Oregon. What's happening in Oregon? Cajun, what's going on? You had to take a break from this madness? You watched Kimmel this morning? I watched Kimmel too. Kimmel actually got a huge boost in ratings because of this. It's absolutely amazing. Cajun, we got to talk about your Saints. Something wrong with those boys. I don't know what's going on there, Cajun. But I understand. And that's why the taking a break from politics thing, 100%. Please, guys, take a break. I've been watching so many people just become, like, absolutely broken from politics. And it's just not meant to be this way, right? Like, you're not supposed to just ingest political information 24/7, all day, every day. And, you know, I'm trying to do some things at the end of the shows nowadays where there's, like, more funny videos and stuff like that. And also, you know, I do hope to, you know, get to a point where I have enough time to, like, plan my show out. My main problem right now is I get home from work and I do the show, right? So I don't have a lot of time to plan out the show. But I'd like to do some more philosophy tube stuff and some more, like, science stuff and economic stuff. Love to get into the videos about how this administration is potentially trying to dive bomb currency by putting all their money into cryptocurrency, which would allow them to divest themselves of the $37 trillion worth of debt that they have right now, which would completely anger every other country in this world because, of course, they get left holding the bag. And maybe we can find some time to go over those videos. But yeah, it's a really crazy thing to talk about. But I feel you, Cajun, and you guys should be getting out, touching grass, hugging your loved ones, and doing things other than watching political videos. Danny, what's happening, Danny? Dark Cash, what's going on, Dark Cash? Roxanne, what's going on? Let's see who else is here. Bucket, what's up, Bucket? Thank you for the 10 memberships, Bucket. Thank you so much. Oh, no, Mama Brooke, your 14-year-old's a Giants fan? Oh, no. I feel bad now because they gave us Saquon. Sorry about that. I apologize. Let's see. Hey, Vonde not getting raptured either, huh? All right. Well, we'll be here. At least we'll be able to hang out with each other. Woke Mike, what's happening, Woke Mike? Let's see. Now we ain't in heaven. He's still on the news. You are correct, Cajun. Yeah. Next year, Cajun. Next year. Nice. He got a 10,000% increase in his viewership on his return. Amazing. Who should you pick to win? Arizona Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks? That's a tough one. Mama Brooke. I mean, to be honest, if I'm just going off of, like, no bias, because I do hate Kyler Murray, even though he's on my fantasy football team, because he did deign not to play for the Oakland Athletics, which is understandable, but also makes me upset. Man, Connor's out. The offense hasn't been great. Defense definitely. I'm going Seahawks, Mama Brooke. Seahawks by 14, 24-10. I'm going Seahawks by 14, 24-10, which means that you should pick the Cardinals. Let me tell you, my picks, for anybody that watched my picks show last year, were not good. They were not good. They were not good at all. Not good. So definitely go Cardinals. But now that I'm saying go Cardinals, you should probably go Seahawks. This is getting really confusing. What's happening, 5 Alarm Fire? What's up, Jen up the base? That's right. We are here. What's up, brother? I can't say brother. I have to say brother in a certain way, else it looks really bad. If I say brother, that looks bad. You didn't get raptured either, 5 Alarm. It's okay. It's okay. We still have each other, okay? We have each other. All right. Let's play some videos. Let's, I do have biases for flying birds. You are correct, Cajun. Let's play some videos. Let's talk about some stuff. We've got some really interesting news today. It's going to be a fun show. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's see if this button works. My other button didn't work. Oh, what is going on? My buttons aren't working. Oh, I updated my OBS. Okay, well, this should be interesting. At least we have old school style. I just have to clickety-click. I'll just clickety-click then. This shouldn't be a problem. So we've got quite a bit to go over tonight. We've got a lot to do with Trump getting trolled by escalators and statues. We've got quite a bit to talk about 12 people that shared their last straw moments before cutting off their MAGA family members. We've got Trump deciding that he's not going to have the annual food security estimates put out anymore. That's great. We've got Trump, our Epstein segment of the show is going to be about finally getting the vote that is necessary for Congress to force a vote on the floor on the Epstein files. So we got that. We have the Trump's DOJ cover-up of Holman taking $50,000 caught on tape doing that. We've got a Bernie and Zoran video, which I was like, man, we got to hope we get to that one. We got Theo Vaughn turning on Trump. I look, when I see these videos and I see Theo Vaughn goes nuclear on Trump, finally turns on him, I'm like, bullshit. So I'm going to call bullshit on this. I like Pondering Politics. I think he's got a great channel, but I'm calling bullshit on this title, and we're going to find out if it's true. That's what we're going to do. That's not, by the way, that is no shade to Pondering Politics. I'm just saying I know the clickbait game, and I'm not falling for that shit. I'm going to guess that Theo Vaughn lightly criticizes Donald Trump. That's what I'm going with. And then when we get to it, and we are going to get to it because the funny part of the show is going to happen every night, no matter what happens, and this is going to be a funny show, period, okay? But we're going to talk about AI and why it's going to murder us, all right? Because that's funny. That's where we've gotten in this culture. And we're going to talk about the rapture, guys. We're going to talk about the people on TikTok and the rapture, and we're going to have a good time. All right. So let's start it off by talking about the Mount Rushmore of Trump, Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping unveiled. And I was saying this the other day, guys. The other day when Trump came out and told us all, okay? When Trump came out and said, I cured autism, I was like, we have gone full Kim Jong-un. This is like 100%. It's 100% Kim Jong-un time now. I've stopped 8 wars. I've gotten peace across the entire globe. I am the head of the hottest economy that has ever happened before. I win all the golf championships. I cured autism. Like, we've gone full Kim Jong-un at this point. So I find it, at this point, pretty adept to put Trump on a Mount Rushmore with his boys, Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping. Although at this point, I think Xi Jinping has actually fallen out. In fact, actually, to be honest with you, I don't think Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, or Putin want Trump's face on the same Mount Rushmore as theirs. Like, that's how sad it is to be Donald Trump right now. And we're going to get to this part. With the rapture, guys, with the rapture, I started looking up, the prophecies and all this stuff, and I ended up on Nostradamus. And if you don't know, Nostradamus suffered from extreme gout later in his life, and he ended up dying of edema, right? And that is, guys, that is where your ankles swell up to fucking gigantic because of fluids, and it's extremely painful. So other than the fact that I've been saying that he's gone full Kim Jong-un lately, I've also been saying Donald Trump has been awfully bitchy lately, guys. Look, in 2017... the Donald Trump that would stand up there behind that podium would almost let anything just roll right off of him. In fact, many people were very upset because Donald Trump, when you would make fun of him, when you criticize him, he would just kind of go, well, they're not very good. I've heard their ratings suck. And that's still there. That's still there. But there is a level of bitchiness to Donald Trump right now that we have never seen before, and this is my theory. I think his ankles fucking hurt. And I think that he has been being forced to act like there is nothing wrong because, he's an alpha male, guys. He's an alpha male. And his ego won't allow him to tell people what is actually going on. I think Donald Trump is super bitchy because he has edema and people have been fucking clowning this guy for 8 straight months. 8 straight months of clowning his ass, all right? Those ankles hurt, brother. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in a minute. Like I said, just wanted to get that out before I forget about it. All right. A new monument depicting a Mount Rushmore of world leaders, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping, has been unveiled. This is it right here. Can we take a look at that look at that, guys? Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Even in the Mount Rushmore, they fucking socially distance Donald Trump from the other dictators. The other dictators are like, no, he can't be that close. His breath stinks. The satirical display, is it satirical, equates Trump with authoritarian leaders such as Putin, Xi, and Kim, a comparison that reflects ongoing global debates over his political style and rhetoric. I can tell you guys already that this is a AI article. By borrowing the imagery of Mount Rushmore, a monument celebrating U.S. democracy, the installation highlights anxieties about whether Trump belongs among strongmen rather than statesmen. I can also tell you that this is AI because I can see in the background. Or is that just a different language? The sculpture was unveiled on September 23rd, during the rapture, by the way, in the atrium of Bangkok's Seacon Square, a huge shopping mall, as part of a camping-themed event. The 2-story replica was built to promote the Somewhere Else, the series, the Summit Camp event. Visitors can pay, I don't know what is that, 99 baht? Which is $3.09, to scale a rock climbing wall inside the installation or take part in archery activities. Camping gear, free food, and beverages are also on offer near the display. The installation takes its inspiration from Mount Rushmore, the granite monument in South Dakota, completed in 1941. Trump has faced mounting accusations in 2025 of behaving like a dictator, with critics pointing to a series of moves they say undermine democratic institutions and concentrate power in the presidency. Yeah, there's not really a question about this anymore. The dude hates free speech. He's obviously attempting to be a strongman. He literally tariffed fucking Brazil over Bolsonaro, who tried to coup his own government. Like, I mean, at this point, if you don't think Trump's a dictator, I'm going to need you to go ahead and show me your evidence, because there's a fucking Mount Rushmore full of evidence that shows that Donald Trump actually is a dictator. So, authoritarian moves. At times, Trump has directly addressed the accusation, "I'm not a dictator. I don't like a dictator," he has said in response to criticism, but in other contexts, he has appeared to toy with the label, claiming, "A lot of people are saying maybe we'd like a dictator." Jesus Christ, we are so fucked. And then, of course, they talked a little bit about, was it Anna Paulina Luna, I think? Yeah, that had asked if he could be on Mount Rushmore, right? So Anna Paulina Luna introduced a bill to add Trump's face to Mount Rushmore. The bill stalled in the House Committee on Natural Resources. President Trump's bold leadership and steadfast dedication to America's greatness have cemented his place in history, Luna said in a press release. Mount Rushmore, a timeless symbol of our nation's freedom and strength, deserves to reflect his towering legacy, a legacy further solidified by the powerful start to his second term. The original sculptor previously said he doubted anyone else could fit on the monument. And definitely not Donald Trump's fat ass head, and most likely not Donald Trump's fat ass ankles either. All right, so let's get that all. Kankles McTaco tits, Kankle McTaco tits cannot go on Mount Rushmore. All right, that has not stopped Trump supporters from suggesting his face be added. Well, they certainly have room for it there. Secretary Doug Burgum, who's a complete fucking bootlicker, told Lara Trump on her Fox News show when she asked if Trump could one day appear on the monument. Trump himself addressed the idea back in August 2020, denying a report the White House aides had contacted then South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem about the process. Look, I just, this is the kind of shit that you want to think is just a joke. This is the kind of stuff that oftentimes Trump supporters will say, you guys are just making a big deal out of this. You guys are just making a big deal. It's not real. It's just a joke. He's just making jokes. And then like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you're like, hold on. They're trying to actually get his face on Mount Rushmore. Like, this shit right here is going to be bananas if we ever have to encounter this. By the way, I just want you guys to know this because I want to be clear about this. This is a camping event in Thailand, guys. This is in Thailand. This is a Mount Rushmore with Trump's face on it at a camping event in Thailand. So just remember, it's not just us laughing at Donald Trump. It's the whole goddamn world. All right? Everybody's laughing at Donald Trump. What's happening, Reverend? How's it going, Reverend? You were doxxed as a leader of Antifa. Are we? You made a joke about Herschel Walker? Is that what it takes to be Antifa? Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say anymore. He's Siamese twins with Orban? 100%. What's up, Luck Dragon? What's going on? So here we go. Let's, Manic, are you making excuses? What up, Benny? What's going on, Benny? That's right. Tell Manic, Benny. Not everybody in pain's an asshole. Just most of them. What's happening, Paul? What's going on? Shit's in Thailand, guys. We're so cooked. All right. So, but to continue along this, guys, next, we have this business, and I'm sure you guys have seen this one. This is a good one. Mysterious new statue of Epstein and Trump holding hands appears in D.C. Look, whoever's doing this stuff. These are heroes. These people are heroes. Like, we live in the dumbest timeline that has ever existed. I mean, this is straight up worse than anything, the Neanderthals, the cavemen, the Australopithecus. There is no level of human that has ever existed that has ever had to deal with this type of dumbassery. This is beyond our comprehension. Idiocracy, in fact, did not do this dumbass timeline justice. And these people are goddamn heroes, okay? A massive statue depicting Donald Trump and late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein holding hands has appeared on the National Mall as the months-long Epstein's Files saga continues to haunt the administration. The 12-foot statue, bigger than life. That's more than twice as big as Donald Trump, just so you guys know. A combination of foam, resin, wood, and wire shows Trump and Epstein standing on pedestals, holding hands, and smiling at one another as they appear to frolic through the park toward the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. Where is the actual? That's it right there. That's the actual. Look at that. That's a masterpiece, guys. That is a masterpiece right there. I just wanted you guys to know that. That's a masterpiece. All right. Back to the top. Below the statue, there are 3 plaques, 2 of which contain excerpts from the body birthday letter Trump allegedly wrote Epstein for his 50th birthday. A copy of the letter, featuring a hand-drawn figure of a naked woman along with the president's reported signature, was made public this month by the House Oversight Committee. Trump has denied any involvement with the letter, even suing the Wall Street Journal, which first published a report about it for $10 billion, claiming that no authentic letter or drawing exists, which we all know is complete and utter bullshit. But if you're a Trump supporter, well,
I love the poorly educated.
He does love the poorly educated. So, you know, let's just keep those geniuses out there.
Now, all I know about magnets is this. Give me a glass of water. Let me drop it on the magnets. That's the end of the magnets.
A lot of geniuses out there, guys.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
These geniuses, of course, say it doesn't exist. Of course, you provide them evidence. What does the dear leader say? The dear leader says things along the lines of, do not believe the evidence of your eyes and ears. Believe me. That's all that's important, because
I love the poorly educated.
it's the fucking truth. So, the statue appeared early Tuesday morning in honor of Friendship Month. Oh, God. I love these people. I love these people. It will remain there until Saturday. A spokesperson for the Secret Handshake, an anonymous group of fewer than 5 individuals who put up the statue, told The Independent. The statue is about celebrate the friendship of these real men. I wonder if these are the same guys. Andrew Callahan from Channel 5 News has a interview with the guys that did the gigantic naked Trump statues. Those guys, I wonder if these are the same people. A White House spokesperson denounced the National Mall's new edition, telling The Independent in a statement, "Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit, but it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. Democrats, the media, and the organization that's wasting their money on this statue knew about Epstein and his victims for years and did nothing to help them, while President Trump was calling for transparency and is now delivering on it with thousands of pages of documents." There is so much fucking wrong with that statement that it is hard to cover it all. But we'll start with the fact that he kicked him out for being a creep. It turns out Donald Trump doesn't even agree with that. Donald Trump doesn't think that he kicked him out for being a creep. In fact, Donald Trump doesn't know which story he's supposed to settle on because Donald Trump is lying. Allegedly. As far as wasting money goes, well, that's complete and utter bullshit, because if there is any amount of money going into this, I hope these people are getting GoFundMe donations for this shit, because we shouldn't have a 12-foot statue of this. We should have a 120-foot statue of this shit, and it should be permanently installed right next to fucking Mar-a-Lago. I think that that's appropriate. That's what I think. As far as Donald Trump's transparency in this administration, it's funny that you mentioned that when the victims, the survivors of Epstein, have called out over and over, including a Republican voter who voted for Donald Trump, which I am questioning her education as well at this point. But hey, you know what? She tried. She thought she was going to actually get something from Donald Trump that was actually going to bring these people to justice. And, you know, for that, I support her, even if she voted for Trump. But if he was transparent, then why hasn't he talked to this woman? She called for it. She said, "Donald Trump, I voted for you. I would love to meet with you and talk about these things." Why? Because Donald Trump knows that if he ever actually has to show the entirety of the unredacted Epstein files, that he is fucked. And that is why he is so bitchy right now. That is why he's so mad right now. That's between the edema or the congestive heart failure or the grayscale. I don't know which one is making him the angriest right now. And the fact that everybody in this world knows that he is attached to those files. He is a bitchy dude. He also might be going through menopause. I'm not sure. He might be going through menopause. Late stage menopause. It's a possibility. There's very few people who have gone on the record and called Trump one of his good friends, the spokesperson said. What? What? Donald Trump went on record and said that he was one of his good friends. The friendship between the two men is well documented. The pair are photographed together at parties in the 90s, 2000s, including at Trump's 1993 wedding to Marla Maples at the Plaza Hotel. I don't know about you guys, but I invite random ass people all the time. This is one of the plaques here. Donald J. Trump, yes, there is, but I don't tell you what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald. Trump called Epstein a terrific guy in a 2002 New York Magazine article, while recordings of Epstein obtained by the Daily Beast last year captured the convicted sex offender describing himself as Trump's closest friend. Their friendship dissolved at around the mid-2000s after Epstein's arrest on sex trafficking charges in 2019. The president told reporters he hadn't spoken to him in 15 years. In July, Trump revealed that he had ended his friendship with Epstein after he stole young female employees from his private club. The president has repeatedly called the late financier a creep in recent months. Yeah, it turns out that, you know, once people start questioning your relationship with a known human trafficker, it's a pretty good game plan to start denying and calling that guy a creep as much as possible. Checks out. Here's the other plaque that we had here. In honor of Friendship Month, we celebrate the long-lasting bond between President Donald J. Trump and his closest friend, Jeffrey Epstein. Voiceover, there must be more to life than having everything. I love these people. I do. I don't even know who they are. I don't care. I don't know what their politics are. They could be conservative. They could be libertarian. They could be anarchist. They could be communist, whatever it is. I don't care. I love these people. While the president has never been accused of wrongdoing in connection with the Epstein case, well, except for by everybody pretty much on the planet. Whatever. Trump's friendship with Epstein has been under the microscope since July, when the DOJ released a memo putting an end to years-long conspiracy theories around Epstein's sudden 2019 death. Did they, though? Did they put an end to those conspiracy theories? I don't think they did. Only in Donald Trump's camp do they think that these conspiracy theories are over. He died by suicide behind bars while awaiting a sex trafficking trial, and there's no evidence to support the existence of a so-called client list of wealthy, famous figures involved in his alleged sex trafficking. Apparently, there's a magician. That's all I'm saying. The FBI concluded. The DOJ also stated that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted related to the case mere months after release Phase 1 of the Epstein files. Because we all know once there's a Phase 1, there is actually never a Phase 2 or 3. You know, that's pretty much the way that phases work. It's just Phase 1 and then conclusion. We're done. We're done. Survivors of Epstein's abuse, members of Congress, and even some of his MAGA following have grown incensed over the Trump administration's handling of the case, calling for increased transparency around the Epstein files. Earlier this month, the DOJ released tens of thousands of Epstein files, most of which were already publicly available, according to lawmakers. Once again, these are the same files that they also had already put out before the Phase 1. So Phase 1 was actually just information that had came out before Phase 1, and then the released documents that came out after Phase 1, the 33,000, were mostly just the same information that was in Phase 1 that also had already been out to the public before Phase 1. So to explain that, they haven't released shit that's new, except for Thomas Massie, and a Canadian billionaire, and a bank guy, and a magician. Like, Thomas Massie has actually been doing more than most people, including a lot of Democrats, to get this shit done. Thank you, Thomas Massie. And strangely, MTG. That's just weird still for me. It feels weird to say that still for me. Some survivors have said they are creating a database of people involved, creating their own client list. Oh, I can't push the button. Look, this is the type of thing that, like, when you get Gavin Newsom up there trolling, doing the mocking of Donald Trump with the Twitter posts, when you have people that are putting out statues like this, when Thailand is putting out a Mount Rushmore with Donald Trump's face on it, with Kim Jong-un and Putin, these are the types of things that, whether or not you recognize it, do get to these dictators. They 100% do get to them, and you can see it affecting Donald Trump. You can see his bitchiness getting worse and worse and worse, and he's going to make a mistake because of that. I believe it was George Orwell that said, every joke is a tiny revolution, and this is why getting Jimmy Kimmel back on TV is important. We need George Carlin. We needed Bill Hicks. We need Bill Burr. We need Jimmy Kimmel. We need people that are saying, I'm going to continue to mock the shit out of this man until he loses it so fucking hard that he makes a mistake and this fucker gets impeached. That is a time-tested manner of going about this. I'm not going to say it's going to work. I'm not saying it's 100%. But I'm saying I fully support it. So keep that shit coming. But it's not the last troll that we have for Donald Trump today. Oh, no. Oh, no. We have more. But wait. There's more. Oh, to the good times, guys. So, also, guys, we also have a television showing Trump with Epstein has also popped up in D.C. And if you can't read it, on the bottom of the plaque there, it says, in the United States of America, you have the freedom to display your so-called art, no matter how ugly it is. Donald J. Trump, June 2025. I love it. Like I said, that edema in his ankles is just making him bitchier and bitchier. I mean, what did he say to the people at the UN the other day? Your country's, my country's doing great. Your country's going to hell. Yeah, that's why there's a Mount Rushmore with your face and Kim Jong-un's and Putin's on it in Thailand right now. That's why there is a TV playing videos of you celebrating with Epstein. That's why there's two dudes, two 12-foot statues of you and Epstein frolicking while holding hands outside. yeah, I'm here for this. Let's just say that. I'm here for this. This is actually, yes, this is the art that does need to be displayed. I'm all for it. So here's the video. This is amazing. Oh, can we get some sound?
This installment is a better national treasure than POTUS himself.
That was freestyle dance class.
Oh, goodness. Like Renata Bliss.
Dude, have you guys seen the video after he's been told Charlie Kirk has been shot, and he says he's like super sad and all that stuff, and then he's at the Yankees game and he's doing that little dance he does next to the guy next to him, and you can just see the guy next to him is just, even he's like, this shit's kind of cringe. Like, look, as a white person, all right, we have been fighting the stereotypes of not being able to dance for a really long time, and I'm going to be honest with you, I can't dance. I can't dance. It's pretty true, actually, okay? At least in my case. All right? Look, the last thing that we needed was the one person that becomes popular as a white person for dancing being Donald Trump, looking like he is giving two guys handjobs. And he looks like he's doing it pretty vigorously. Like he's really pumping it. You know what I'm saying? And I bet they finish right over his face. He loves that shit. The last thing we needed was this being the only white person that people know about that dances. This was the golf swing and shit like that. Come on. Did we really need a white old man president that is synonymous with a golf swing dance? Did we need to go there? Has this not gone far enough? Like, you could have just stopped with the jerking two dudes off. Sometimes he does it from side to side, and it looks like he's in a fucking gangbang. Like, he's got two glory holes up next to his head, and he's just like, I've done this before. That's the tapes they have of his ass, I guarantee it, allegedly. Putin's got tapes of that shit. That's all I'm saying. There it is. There's the side to side by the face.
Brilliant.
Look, guys, we need more of this. Look, we are being judged by the rest of the globe right now. Our president is going around to other countries, to the UN, and telling them how much of a hellhole their countries are. Meanwhile, every country in the world is mocking us because our leader is literally like fucking falling down a K-hole. He's got dementia, and he dances like he's jerking off two dudes at the same time. All while talking about the fact that being gay is bad. It's confusing. And it's bad. It's bad for us. And I think that the only way that we get any type of credibility back for the United States of America is by showing we ain't with this dude. All right? Like, if you ever go to a restaurant and you are sitting at a table with somebody and that person starts making a goddamn scene, they're like, my steak is cold. I actually send it back. You people don't know how to do your jobs. This is why you guys don't get paid very much, okay? You're never going to be anybody. You're just going to be a waiter. That's when you're like, I am not with this dude. Just everybody here, like with all the people that are fucking Instagram videoing this dude right now, that shit's going to be on Reels and TikTok and Facebook later. It's going to get like 2 million views. I just want everybody to know I'm not with this dude, okay? That is what we're doing on a global scale right now, is we need more of this shit. We need more trolling. We need more making fun of edema ankles, okay? Menopause Trump. All right, we need to make as much fun of this orange fucking clown, Taco McKankle tits, okay? So that way the rest of the world knows, y'all, we ain't with this. This ain't us. This ain't America. This is this dipshit and a bunch of dudes that just wanted to vote to burn down the country so that way they could make people cry that wanted health care and unions. We're not with it, just so you guys know. But it doesn't stop there. But wait, there's more. I told you this is going to be fun. I told you guys this one's going to be fun. We got a lot of fun stuff. How are you guys doing down there? Let's talk to you guys. See what you guys are doing. Yeah, I did see the connections on Erica and Trump. Yeah. It never stops. Not just Erica and Trump, but also Charlie Kirk's father being part of the architecture team that built Trump Tower also as well, right? It's insane. Every person in this shit is connected. And somehow they have convinced all these like blue collar working class people that somehow they're going to get to be a part of this. And it's like George Carlin said, it's a big party and you ain't going to be a part of it. Like, you're not. Like, all of these people literally are just living vicariously. Like, these are the same people that 8 months ago, 9 months ago, were saying, like, this economy is horrible. I can't pay my rent. Groceries are too high. My electricity bill is through the roof. And every one of those things has continued to increase since that time. Groceries continue to go up. Electricity is up. I believe it's 4% right now. Electricity, energy is up. Groceries are up. Rent is up. Like, there is nothing in this economy that is doing better at this point. Nothing. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Literally, we are contracting, right? As far as industry goes, the one thing that Donald Trump was like, I'm going to bring back industry to America. Our industry is in a contraction right now. We are headed towards recession. We are most likely going to find ourselves in stagflation. And there's a real good fucking chance that our government is actually going to try some type of fucking Ponzi scheme where they dump a bunch of money from our debt into cryptocurrency so that way we leave the rest of the world hanging, which is what do you think that's going to do? When the rest of the world, when we owe, what do we owe? We owe almost $1 trillion to Japan and something like $750 billion to China, and then, you know, various other amounts to different people, right? When the rest of the world, when we try to walk out on them and take all of the money that we currently have in debt and bonds and securities, and we try to move that into cryptocurrencies, and then their economies crash, what do you think is going to fucking happen? Do you think they're just going to be like, oh, man, that sucks. Man, they really played us, guys. Boy, they got us this time. No! Do you think Putin's going to go quietly into the fucking night? He has nuclear weapons. It's the dumbest administration. And look, like, I understand the debt is a problem. $37 trillion. 13.5 of that is going to end up being Donald Trump's legacy. 13.5. When the Tea Party Patriots started their movement back in 2008, 2009, the entire debt, I believe at the time, was like $8 or $9 trillion. Donald Trump himself has added more to the debt than we had 16 years ago. That's insanity from a party that claims that they are anti-debt. I am with you. I believe that the debt is a problem. But I am not with this like weird thing, that this Stephen Moran plan. This, like, Scott Bassett actually looks like he's a pretty good hedge fund trader, okay? But I don't need a bunch of motherfuckers right now trying to dump the debt into cryptocurrency so that way we can share the problem with the rest of the world so that way they can be like, wait a minute, you can't fucking pull that shit. We're going to watch a video on that. Eggs are the only true metric. And the best part about that is even though eggs have reduced in price overall, wholesale price of eggs at the dock, like pallets of eggs, loose eggs being sold, are cheaper now than they were last month. They're cheaper now than they were in January, but they are not cheaper year over year. So literally, eggs still are not cheaper year over year. Donald Trump still has not gotten those prices. Oil prices, the only thing that Donald Trump has done so far is driven oil prices into the fucking ground. And now OPEC is like, we're actually going to put out a bunch more oil, so oil prices are actually going down further. Literally, at this point, Donald Trump has pissed off everybody. Even the oil barons are like, I don't think this is what we voted for. This is the craziest shit ever. Because this isn't like, just make the liberals cry shit. This is petty-ass, edema cankles, fucking Donald Trump just showing his menopause on the world stage and just fucking being angry at everybody. Even the oil barons are like, I don't think I like this. What the fuck is going on in this world? The country, I guess. Yeah, exactly what Sim Racing just said. You weaken the dollar, you let the rich buddies buy up the bonds, Dems take over and get shit straight, the buddies cash in, the Republicans playbook. Exactly. Except for, right now, what they're doing is Trump bought $100 million in bonds, right? He drives the interest rate down. When interest rates go down, bonds go up. And then they're selling off long-term debt, which is bonds to buy Treasury, right? Treasury T-bills, which is short-term. And then, like I said, some people believe that they're then going to convert that through cryptocurrency. And even though the government currently is not buying Bitcoin, not buying cryptocurrency, Smartmatic, which the guy from Smartmatic is one of Trump's friends, or not, I'm sorry, not Smartmatic. Smartmatic's about to sue me for defamation. Not Smartmatic. MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies is a friend of Donald Trump's, and that guy wants Donald Trump to dump the debt into cryptocurrency. And it's a lot harder for me to explain. I barely understand this shit myself. But we'll play a video from a dude at one point or another, maybe Saturday or maybe even tomorrow on stream. And we'll talk about why this is a bad idea. Like, why this is a fucking horrifically bad idea. So it's like they're just, somebody said, they said Donald Trump most likely when he leaves office, if he's still alive when he leaves office, and I'm not talking about assassinating, I'm talking about edema ankles, might have congestive heart failure. If congestive heart failure does not get Trump, they think that he will leave office as quite possibly the world's richest man, have more money than Elon Musk. That's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Okay, so I told you the trolling wasn't done, guys. I told you. All right? So we also have this video. And it's about Donald Trump in the escalator, guys. Donald Trump in the escalator. Dude, this guy, he's so mad about everything. He is bitchy. The menopause. You can see him getting the hot flashes. His edema ankles. They're causing him so much pain, and then they made edema ankles walk up an escalator. Dude, this is amazing. So anyways, these are IHIP ladies. These are my favorite people. I love these two ladies. I wish these two ladies were the voice of the left, to be honest with you. I want these two ladies to be the voice of the left. I want that to happen. I love these two ladies. I think they're always on point. I think they talk shit like no one else. I love these two ladies. So anyways, here's their video. IHIP News, Fox News has psychotic break over Trump's escalator gate embarrassment.
MAGA is the party of victimhood. These are the biggest reactive, meltdown, snowflake, titty babies on the globe right now. We saw what happened with Cracker Barrel. And it was a stage 5 meltdown. And all of this is to distract you from the fact that they are lying. They are lying to the public.
Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files.
And they lied to get elected. They're lying now, and they're trying to prevent elections from happening because these are evil MFers that know their policies are so wildly unpopular. They can't legislate them, and they can't take it to the ballot box and win the right way. So they create things to melt down about. Their newest one are escalators at the United Nations. Let's listen to Chief Propagandist Kara Lyon, KKK, fake Christian extraordinaire.
Fake Republican even. Most people already know that there is videos of her attempting to grift off the left before all this shit, and now she's grifting off the right, which makes this shit just like so much crazier. Because look, if these were people... I just saw a video, just thinking about this. If these were people, right, that were like 10 toes down, like foundationally, you know, like the Heritage Foundation people, right? Like the Project 2025 people. Those people are like scary evil in a different way, right? Those people are like the religious televangelist cults that you see, Kenneth Copeland and stuff like that. You see the way that those people manipulate people, and you're like, man, that's fucking scary. But then you see the way that people like Carolyn Levitt and like the MAGA crowd is 100% like the grossest grift that has ever existed. It's actually worse than like televangelism. It's worse than Kenneth Copeland, because at least with those people, you know, you do believe, like Kenneth Copeland probably does believe some of the crazy shit he says. Like these right-wing MAGA people are just purely grifters. And you can release videos showing like, oh, hey, here's fucking Carolyn Levitt trying to grift off the left. When that didn't work, she literally married a 60-year-old dude so that way she could fucking be a gold digger. And now she's just grifting off MAGA Republicans. And they're like, no, I don't see any of that. I don't care. I don't like it. I just recently saw a video. This is what I was just saying. Saw a video where Benny Johnson is now being accused of being in the closet. And it would not surprise me. And as I said before, nothing wrong with being in the closet. In fact, the only thing wrong with being in the closet is you should be out of the closet. Like, you should go ahead and open that door, brother, and come out and support your LGBT friends. Okay? These people don't even stand on the foundation of the policies and shit that they say. That's what makes this so crazy. Is that they know they just have to say the right things and that money just rolls in. Like, MAGA Republicans, like, fucking throw wads of dollar bills and just hit you in the face. Just slap you right in the dome with, like, wads of $1 bills. Like, please, take my money. Like, they got grandmas out there that should be sending $20 to grandkids for their birthday. They're like, I can't send it to Jake this month. Sorry, Jakey. I was going to send you $20, but Donald Trump needs my money. For what? He's in office. What the fuck does Donald Trump doesn't need any more money. He's not going to campaign again. Why would he be sending you money to get into heaven? This shit, it's just insane.
Levitt on the absolute victimhood of these abject titty babies.
Yeah, exactly. DOK. They literally turned Charlie's funeral into a Nazi-themed flea market. Like, it had fucking fireworks. Although, I'm going to say, y'all can have fireworks at my funeral, too. Actually, I take that one back. But it was WWE. It's like Vince McMahon produced that shit. Which, actually, now that I think about it, also, probably that's true. That's actually probably true. Vince McMahon probably did fucking produce that shit. Like, there is no bar that is too low for these people to grift off of. I am surprised at this point that they are not selling pieces of Charlie Kirk's clothing. Like, that's how fucking insane this is. Like, I just can't get with the grift, man. One of the things that I think that you guys should always, like, know about me and about this channel is I've said openly to every single one of you that I was not a political figure. I wasn't into politics. I didn't want to be a part of all this. I wanted to make jokes. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to like, break down and have a good time. The weird Trump voter shit where they fucking say Joe Biden's a skin suitor. There's robots and vaccines and shit like that. And I think that, like, more than anything, I want you guys to see through this channel, like, my growth. Like, that I'm going to be wrong about things, right? And then I'm going to learn from it. And I'm going to be, I'm going to have bad takes on things. And I'm going to hopefully learn from it. And I'm going to develop new opinions on things as we move. Because I want to be honest with you guys. I want you guys to see that this is, like, a real person, not a facade. Like, I'm not going to, so many people get on here and they're like, I am the rightest. I know all the information. There's nothing that could be wrong. When I make mistakes, I get up here and I say, I'm sorry, I should have said that differently. I'm sorry I didn't know that information. I guess I didn't know that one thing. Like, I try to be really good about that. But the one thing that you do know about me is that, like, you know that what I'm talking about is actually me, and whether or not I'm wrong or not, I do believe these things, and it doesn't mean that I won't change my mind later once I have new information, but for now, you know that this is me. And it's fucking crazy to watch the facade of Trump's administration and these people just grift by using tactics that started back with Rush Limbaugh, if not earlier than that. It's insane. Oh, thank you, Fantradeath. Thank you for the 10 memberships. Thank you, Fan. Thank you so much.
Babies, play the clip.
And you get a membership.
It does appear to be sabotage with the...
Oh, no. Carolyn Levitt and Jesse Waters? I don't think I can watch this, guys. Hold on, I need to prepare myself. Okay. Okay. Oh, neck crack. Okay, that's good too. Okay, all right, that one's good. I don't know if I can do this, guys. Carolyn Levitt and Jesse Waters. Okay. All right, let's go. We can do this.
It does appear to be
Can somebody give the Discord silent if you can?
sabotage with the escalator and the teleprompter. What is the White House going to do about that?
Wait. Sabotage? Didn't they say that it was actually one of the Trump administration people fucking with the levers or whatever? I mean, it would be funny if they were actually trolling Donald Trump. I would laugh at that.
Well, Jesse, that's definitely what it appears to be to me. And that's why I put out a statement earlier. Well, there was some concerning reporting over the weekend from the London Times, as you pointed out, that
I like how they all stood there on the escalator, too.
UN globalist staffers were basically plotting to set up the president of the United States. And
what the fuck is wrong with these people?
First, it was the escalator, then it was the teleprompter, and then Katie Pavlich from Town Hall.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Who we offered a seat in the press pool to cover the president's historic speech.
I've heard enough. As you can
thanks, ladies. Yes, they saved me.
see, this is a nothing burger, and they have to completely have stage 5 meltdowns and be a victim. And last week it was the leftists with zero evidence that leftists had anything to do with the assassination / murder of Charlie Kirk. This week, it's the globalists. And this whole word global.
But they don't care. They don't care because they know MAGA will never look at anything else. Like I have, so on my Facebook and on YouTube, I click so many right-wing videos and posts that I see both sides. So like during the search for the Charlie Kirk killer, right? Like I saw what both sides were getting, and I do say like you should be looking at what other people are putting out because you do at times find information that you're not going to see on the left. And this is not a promotion for Ground News, as I'm sure you guys have seen about 1 million times already. But hey, I don't get money from any advertisers. I literally get my $3 from YouTube every video, which is pretty dope, and the money from you guys. But you know, they just came out with the ICE were shot at today, right? And immediately you see, like, oh, it's once again trans terrorists, whatever the fuck it is. It's like they're never going to look at anything but that. They're only going to look at JD Vance's tweets on it. They're only going to look at like there's these sayings that are written on the bullets. Which, come on, like, is that even a fucking real thing now? Are people? Is just everybody that shoots at somebody conveniently writes their fucking political party on the bullet? Is that? Are we falling for that shit? Like, sometimes I do actually applaud a couple people on the right that I see their shit where they're saying the same thing. They're like, everybody has a manifesto. Everybody writes their names and their intentions on the bullets now. Like, this seems sus. But other than, like, those few people, like, MAGA is not conservative. MAGA is MAGA. They are a completely different beast. They took over the Republican Party, and it is their party now. There are no conservative party anymore. There is no conservative party. But they're never going to look at anything else.
List is something that goes hard really big on the right wing. I remember this past spring. I was at an event for my son, and there was a guy there, kind of redneckish guy, and he's talking to us, and he was like, yeah, well, you know, such and such is kind of
Luck Dragon. I never once in my life thought I would say this, but how cool are those girls from Oklahoma?
real liberal, like an Obama liberal. And I perked my ears up and I go, I'm kind of an Obama liberal, but even like further. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, just as long as you're not a globalist. And I said, what is a globalist? Right. Can you define it for me?
No.
And the man was like, well, it's and I go, what is it? Define what a globalist is for me. Of course, he couldn't define it because this is the party of victimhood and buzzwords where they get their marching orders.
Which now Trump, you could say, is attempting globalism. He's just attempting globalism with America in the driver's seat. Really, that's what he said at the UN. Like, he's saying to them, come work with us because your shit sucks and we're the best. Like, he's literally saying, we will be a global economy. They're the globalists now, and no one cares.
From Jesse Waters. And then when they want to hit the hard drugs, they go over to like Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro.
Swift, what's
all
up,
of
Swift?
this because he had to walk up a flight of stairs. I mean, is it that big of a fucking deal? Apparently it is.
When you have a foot that drags and swollen ankles and a heart condition, I mean, I think that was a lot. That's a lot to ask of that guy in his completely frail, fragile
100%.
physical health that he's in.
You know, you're right about that. And that's,
I was saying the other day they should get him one of them little scooters that you get at Walmart. Like, I'm pretty sure Walmart has like a couple that they could just give his ass. Could you see Donald Trump just fucking riding around on one of those little scooters? Dude, that would kill me. That would kill me if he just drove up on the podium on one of those little Walmart scooters. The liberals, they think they've got me because I have edema ankles and I am going through menopause. But I'll tell you this right now, Walmart has donated mini scooters. This scooter is so fast. It's the fastest scooter that anybody has ever seen. It's very hot. Some people say Donald Trump's scooter is the hottest scooter that has ever existed. Many people are saying that. I walked into Walmart. I said, wow, look at all these scooters. They said, would you like one? I said, I'll take two. Dude, I want to see that.
probably why it was such a big deal, because most people would be like, oh, the escalator's working, I'm walking up the stairs.
Liz.
And this is a guy that all throughout his campaign, I don't need a teleprompter because I'm so great. I can memorize everything. And the first words out of his mouth are, well, the escalator was broken and the teleprompter's broken and somebody must be against me. And
Yeah, because he's bitchy. He's so bitchy, dude.
I am sick to death of the victimhood. Do they ever get tired of it? Do they ever get tired of being the problem? And people acting like it's a 5-alarm fire. I'm like, what about people that are not receiving their Medicaid benefits? What about kids that are hungry? I mean, there's
bro, people are literally getting snatched off the street by people in masks and getting deported without due process. And they're like, don't bat an eye. Fucking Donald Trump's escalator stops working and he has to walk up like, I don't know, 16 steps. And they're like, this is a fucking act of terrorism.
a gazillion problems. The escalator just ain't one.
This is intentional because the top of the fold, the lead should be United States president humiliates himself in rambling, incoherent speech on the UN floor, wherein he degrades our allies and the rule of law. That should be the story. But they cannot run that story, so they make shit up. And here's another chief propagandist, Jesse Waters, with, we're going to tone the rhetoric down. The left is so crazy. They're so violent. Listen to this.
What's going on with the escalator? What do you think?
Yeah, they sabotaged them.
Yeah.
And they could have hurt the first lady.
Yeah.
Trump would have fallen and he would have gotten back up. But,
they would have blamed it on his rhetoric.
And then they sabotaged the teleprompter.
Yeah.
I mean, this is an insurrection. And what we need to do is either leave.
I mean, we do have to be honest. We know that they don't know what an insurrection is. So they do not know how to define an insurrection properly. So that checks out.
The U.S. This is an insurrection. And what we need to do is either leave the UN or we need to bomb it. It is in New York, though. Right?
Imagine.
Yeah.
I love the poorly educated.
I don't even know what to say to that. Brenda! Jesse Waters says we're gonna bomb the UN. Brenda, is that possible? How much mayonnaise do we need for that?
If Rachel Maddow said that. Imagine if Rachel Maddow said something like that. The stage.
Well, you know why they get away with saying shit like that? Because they're fucking buffoons. That's why. Because if Rachel Maddow says that, if anybody else says that, anybody on the left says something like that, people actually take them seriously. People look at Jesse Waters and they're like, there is nothing about this man that anybody should ever be scared of. This guy, he's a loser. He's a loser. His ratings suck. He doesn't even know where the UN is. Like, that's the only reason he can get away with that.
Meltdown that these titty baby snowflake victims would have. I don't think that's appropriate, but I'm not going to have a meltdown over it because this is just a Wednesday on Fox News. This is just what they do. And I do think he's joking, but I also think it's wildly dangerous because you have a lot of freaks that sit around and watch Fox News. And so
people are getting crazier and crazier. Yeah.
Have to satisfy their default setting for violence and civil war. And at the end of the day, the constant narrative that has come out of this administration is that Americans need to fight with each other. Our positioning to protect our national security has been completely eroded. Trump eroded it yesterday at the UN, telling our allies that their countries were going to hell, denying climate change, which is an existential threat. But they can't talk about that. So they have to say, Trump was sabotaged and Melania could have been injured. She's in such terrible shape, I guess.
This is the dumbest fucking timeline. Like, why is this like news? The escalator stopped. Why is it news? You guys remember like 4 or 5 years ago when something would pop up in your feed? Actually, got to go back further. 12 years ago ish, when something would pop up in your feed and you're like, why is anybody talking about this? I don't care that Brad Pitt has a secret love child. Why are we talking about this? You thought that was the dumbest this was going to get. No. Oh, wait. There's more. We're going to get dumber. You cannot believe what your ears just heard. Bomb the UN. Inject homeless people with a lethal injection. Fox has no boundaries with unhumanity. Yeah, that's how fucking crazy. This is crazy. Like, and you know what it is it's raising the bar. That's what it is. It's that when you say things, and Trump started doing this back in like 2010, 2012 with the birther shit, right? Is when you say things that are so crazy, people just always say, oh, you're just joking. When you say things that are super crazy, people oftentimes say things like, oh, he's not going to be a dictator. He's just joking about being a dictator. And then when he becomes a dictator, it's like, well, yeah, we said he was going to be a dictator. Actually, that's what we voted for. So this is the same kind of shit. It's like them putting it out in the world. It's like them saying, yeah, they're just making jokes about bombing the UN. But hey, if it happened, that is what we voted for. The most anti-war president of all time, guys. Don't forget that. Don't forget that he's the most anti-war president of all time.
I love the poorly educated.
Right. She can't walk up a flight of stairs because these people are pussies.
Well, I thought it was a nod to the strong man when he said Melania would fall. I mean, if Trump fell, he'd get right back up. And we all know that if Trump fell, it would take a crane to get his...
Bro, if Trump fell, that shit would be newsworthy. Like, bro is not getting back up. It ain't going to be graceful. Like, you need like 6 or 7 Secret Service agents all like doing their best to prop brother up. All right?
His fat ass up. But, you know, the flippancy with which they talk about violence is stunning to me. We had last week the one guy saying, you know, involuntarily lethal inject homeless people. Jesse Waters wants to bomb the UN. And then Laura Ingraham made some snide remark about ICE beating up civilians. Like, good for them. And I just think, is that where we are as a country? That we want to glorify violence while at the same time blaming the left for rhetoric? I mean, I just don't get it.
It's a classic abuser tactic. They're using projection. Mm-hmm. Their default setting is violence, and you can see it through all of their right-wing influencers.
And they're right. That these ladies are right. They do that, and then they even get people on the left to eat their own because they don't want to. I mean, even like Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, right? Like, because he's a good person, because he's an empathetic human being. Like, he's tearing up and he feels bad about like just the fact that potentially people saw him as not a good human being based off of something that was a light criticism or joke of Donald Trump's response to to Charlie Kirk's passing. Like, unfortunately, that is the behavior of someone that's abused. They come back from something happening that was genuinely wrong done to them, and they apologize, and they almost cry in a way of saying, like, I don't want to be seen as this bad person. Because we all know that the empathy of the left is both its greatest strength and its greatest weakness, because it can be used against them, and it oftentimes is used against them.
See it through their main propaganda channel. You can hear it from the administration. We've got to fight the enemy from within. They are the ones that are violent, but then they gaslight the public and project that the left are the violent ones, when most liberals I know are so anti-gun, they don't even own guns. Right. And so this is a classic abuser technique that is used in this propaganda machine from the top all the way down to all of the arms of the propaganda. It's intentional. It's intentional that they talk about violent things while then gaslighting their audience and saying it's okay when we do it, but they're the problem. And it's a classic. I mean, you can even take it to a relationship when a man is abusing a woman, says it's her fault that happened. And so this even happens with governments. And then here we go. Midas Touch documents this is just a sampling of the meltdown. This guy, Chernovich, says what happened today at the UN was a dry run for an assassination. Our enemies were.
What? Oh my God. I am fucking done. It was the stopping of an escalator was a dry run for an assassination? Oh my God, why did we let the conspiracy theorists do this to us? It's because we're all having too good of a time. It's true. We're all enjoying the Fear Factor. We're enjoying the Jerry Springer, the WWE, the 4chan. Oh my God, that is, I want to say that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but this administration comes up with the dumbest thing I've ever heard, like every 16 to 34 seconds. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And the fucking wild thing about this, guys, the wild thing about this is that when he puts out something like that, he does it intentionally because he knows there's people out there that will believe that shit. That is fucking bananas.
Able to see the reaction or lack thereof. Trump was a sitting duck. Extreme measures must now be taken against the UN, including leaving the UN totally. And of course, Mike Lee, he chimes in, and all these other dipshits.
He hears, hey, don't be an asshole, all right? Makes channel about how stupid MAGA is. Gets surprised when MAGA is stupid. Whatever he hurts. I couldn't have predicted this. You couldn't make fun of me, and that's completely appropriate. You can make fun of me for not thinking it could get this stupid, but you can't tell me that you guys, there's no way you thought it would be this stupid. This is come on, this is beyond comprehension. This is fucking singularity stupid. This is so stupid that you could not possibly I want to see evidence. Okay, if you guys are going to tell me right now that you guys were predicting this, I want fucking evidence, because I cannot believe that you guys knew it would be this stupid. This is a different level of stupid.
Alex Jones, they can't talk about the top story, which was covered in the international press, which was that the president of the United States is frail. He's lost his mind. He's lost all sense of democracy, all sense of diplomacy, appears to have dementia. That's what the world read. If you live in MAGA world, you read this, and then you're...
Wow, that's fucking so spot on, though. So spot on. She's right. The rest of the world, that's why, anything from outside of the U.S. on American politics, other than the weird right-wing Trump fucking supporting other country people, that's insane. That's insane. But other than those people, Like, the rest of the world is reading about Trump's shitty performance at the UN. Everybody in MAGA is reading about a supposed escalator assassination dry run. That sounds stupid just even saying it.
I love the poorly educated.
Holy shit.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Are mad at your fellow Americans because I always go back to this one thing. Vladimir Putin said that he was going to tear America up from within without having to send one bullet or launch one missile. And it's happening. And he has laid the groundwork for that. And so while these outward right-wing influencers and Fox put all that on, there are literally rooms full of cell phones that are bots that are being operated to feed all of this victimhood civil war narrative. And it's just utterly insane that we can't sit here and talk about that we have a massive problem with this man who is incompetent. He clearly needs to be impeached because he accidentally sent a what was intended to be a DM.
And for all the people out there that are like, that wasn't a DM, then why did he delete it, bro? It used to be a joke, a Facebook joke that your grandpa would fucking put, like, you know, chubby girls topless in the fucking, you know, status bar, and then press enter and you would get a fucking status from your grandpa that said chubby girls topless. And you're like, Grandpa, this is not Google. Now literally grandpa is fucking sending, and you know what it is? It's like there's probably a bunch of people. He probably thought he was on Signal. He was probably in a group chat. That's why he put Pam at the top, because he's saying, like, in a group chat, you're saying, I'm talking to this person, right? By putting their name first. He probably is in a group chat, and then he posted it. So that means other people see this shit, and they don't think it's crazy, or they do think it's crazy, and they just like how much they're getting to grift off these fucking sheep. It's insane.
For the DOJ to cook up evidence against his political enemies, that is impeachable. That even goes a little bit beyond January 6th there.
DJ, sorry he's late. He's stuck on an elevator. Sorry, he's stuck on an escalator.
It's so black and white. But the impotent Congress isn't going to do a goddamn thing about it because they're on Twitter talking about this escalator incident.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's gonna do you guys think he'll indict the I can't push Big Me. Sorry. What do you guys think? Do you guys think he's gonna indict the elevator? Pam Bondi's next big case, guys. Pam Bondi's next big case, putting the elevator, the escalator on trial. Guys, the Congress has subpoenaed the UN escalator and the UN escalator force. They want to know. They want to ask the hard questions, guys. They're going to ask the hard questions about that escalator. We are a laughingstock. And this is like, I actually believe that this is making MAGA crazier. I believe this is actually making them crazier. Because, as I've said before, they can't come down off this high, right? Like, there is no returning to sanity. There is no returning to being, like, just normal in society. Like, I make the joke when these guys come in here and they try and talk trash. I always say, like, I get it. Like, you know, your family doesn't love you. You have no more friends. Your coworkers can't stand you because all you do is talk about Trump. So you come to my chat to hang out because you're lonely, because nobody else will talk to you anymore. And I make that joke, but that's not, like, it's a joke, but there's a lot of truth in that. And a lot of these people are just, like, they're fucking lost. And now the guy that they have sunk cost fallacied their way into a cult, like, he's failing on all cylinders. And I really legit think they are breaking and they are becoming crazier and crazier. And it's like our government is now like a doomsday cult, right? Like, we're operating, people will make the joke all the time, like, oh, we shouldn't ever elect people that believe in the rapture. We shouldn't elect people that believe in end of times. Like, we definitely should never elect doomsday cult people. And that's kind of what it feels like right now, because when you look at what they're trying to do with the economy, when you look at what they're doing with deportation and the way that they're trying to fix the population problem in the West, all of it is like just like push all of your chips to the center. There is nothing that's going on right now that shows that even for a little bit that they believe that once they're out of office that this country will exist. Like, they are literally taking all the chips America has left and pushing it towards the center and saying, like, we're gonna give it one last shot. But if you guys have ever seen like Beast Games or Squid Games or anything, it reminds me a lot of some of the games where one person you pick a person to be your captain, right? If you guys watch the Beast Games, I watched the Beast Games with my 11-year-old. He wanted to watch them, so I sat down and watched them. And I actually thought that they were pretty like spot on as far as like kind of like a more like morality based thing. Like, you can watch like how people interact and how people push each other around and destroy each other over capitalism and stuff. But one of the very first games was you had to pick a captain, and if that captain was going to be given, I think like $1 million or $5 million, it was a lot of money. And all he had to do was push the button. He could leave, or no, he even got to stay. So that was even worse. He got to stay, he got to get the money, but his entire team got kicked out. And 2 people were picked, and neither one of them picked it. And it was like, wow, that's really a great moment. These people really did a good job of picking a captain. And him and this other girl, there's a girl and a guy, they both stuck to their guns, and they also were people that said, hey, pick me. And it's like, we picked the person that's 100% sending us all home. That's what we did. We picked the guy, like there was a counter and it goes up, like it starts at like 10,000 and it's 20,000, then it goes up faster and faster until it builds towards millions of dollars, you know? And Trump's the type of dude that hits it at like 45K. Like it could have gone to 5 million. He's like, bam, send him home. That money's mine now. Like, Jesus Christ, how did we do this? This is fucking insane. Anyway, speaking of those people, you just got another ICE commercial. I know, they're everywhere, guys. The ICE commercials are all over the place. The Tylenol thing is insane. Oh my God. Oh my God. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So let's just go ahead and click down here. All right. So you guys are going to enjoy this one. This is 12 people shared their last straw moments before cutting off their MAGA family members. Oh, yeah, guys. Here we go. Hope you guys are ready for this one. This one's going to be good. Recently, we asked the friends, siblings, parents, and loved ones of MAGA supporters to share their last straw moments that broke their relationship. Here's what they said. Number 1. I lost my entire surviving family, which isn't very many, over Trump. My last straw to cut them all out of our lives was when they blamed us for our son's autism because he's vaccinated. Then my mom stole not 1, but 2 inheritances left me by my dad and grandparents, justify it by saying that since I'm anti-Trump, liberal atheist, that I don't deserve and my children don't deserve to have anything whatsoever. It left us in the worst imaginable financial strain that we haven't been able to crawl out of. My family took her side because I'm vocally anti-Trump. Never mind that I've always been there for all of them for any little thing, dropped everything and drove across multiple states to help them move through sickness, funerals, etc. I am now a worthless lowlife. They've called me racial slurs, insulted my parenting, and insulted my special needs child. By the time it goes to court, the money will be gone, donated to Trump and his MAGA churches. And this is what I was just saying. Like, this right here is spot on with the Tylenol thing, right? is how many dipshits do you think, because my son is an aspie, my son is on the spectrum, how many dipshits do you think I'm going to have to deal with in my life that are going to go, well, yeah, probably your wife took acetaminophen, actually, Trump solved autism, bro. Trump solved autism. It took him like a month, dude. He figured it out. Trump solved autism. This is the type of shit that you hear that you don't want to believe. But unfortunately, all of us have been watching these videos for years now, and we know that these people exist. And it's fucking sad. It's absolutely sad. Like, you have a person, and let's say they have a child that's on the lower functioning portion of the scale. A person that, like, is already spending a lot of their time judging themselves for what their child's going through. For those of you that don't know, because I do have a child on the spectrum, you blame yourself for a lot of this. And there's actually some truth to that. Because the most likely case of where autism begins is in the parents, from genetic traits. I know I did a lot of research on this because I didn't want to believe it was true. When my son was first taken to be, we went to a doctor for them to look at him and listening to him and decide whether or not, he may be on a spectrum. I didn't want to believe it was true. Like when the preschool teacher was like, he's showing signs of potentially being on the spectrum, I was like, nah, he's just like me. And then I was like, uh-oh. No, years later, I was like, uh-oh, actually. It's tough. Like, it's tough to be the parent of a child when they're really small, because my son was like 3 when he was diagnosed, because you put so much on yourself. So I actually get where people go with trying to, like, blame this on everything else. No, it's because of lead. It's because of, your gut bacteria, all this stuff. I know all the reasons that people claim it's because of. After doing all the research that I did on this subject, me and my wife did a podcast on autism. And we did a ton of research on this. After all of it was done, you know what I came to? I was like, I think my genetics and potentially my wife's genetics are the reason that my child is autistic. And that there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being on the spectrum. He's a beautiful, wonderful human being. And he's going to do big things in this world, regardless of what fucking RFK Jr. tells you. Autistic people are just people. We're all quirky. We're all, we've all got something different about us. There's no such thing as normal. We're all different. That's just such a sad thing to say. Fantra death. They need to lose it. They have to before they'll change. The left keeps trying to avoid things the right will do, and the right just gets bolder. Yeah, I have a video I'd like to talk about that. Thank you for the $5, fan. Thank you for the $5. Like, Dragon, my mom took Tylenol and alcohol, and that came out just fine. Just wait until the next fucking time they stand up there and do a autism Tylenol, and they're like, actually, alcohol cures it. If you're taking Tylenol, you counterbalance it with whiskey, and everything comes out better. Yeah, there are a lot of factors. I do agree with that, Sean. There are a lot of factors. But like I said, like, it's okay. It's all right. Like, as a parent, it's okay to say to yourself, like, potentially, I am the factor. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I love my son. He's a fucking beautiful human being. And I'll tell you this, he's 1,000 times better than any one of these fucking MAGA Republicans. I would not ever, I wouldn't trade my son for 10,000 MAGA Republicans. Not if I could have each one as a child over and over and over again and experience their childhood, because I believe all children are beautiful, wonderful human beings. It's society and parenting and prejudice that make us ugly. I'm sure they're all good kids, except for Trump. But I wouldn't trade my son for 10,000 of them, because my son's an amazing human being. Number two. This one hurt. Just before the 2019 Trump versus Biden election, my godmother, who has been like a second mother to me, said all the problems in the United States were because of Black Lives Matter. I was absolutely horrified and stopped calling. I feel super guilty because she was old. And that's another one that pisses me off that I see from people that are not MAGA that attempt to use the empathy of the left against the left. People on the left that use the empathy of the left against the left. You should go patch up things with your dad. You should go patch up things with your mom. You should go patch up things with your uncle or your aunt. No, I actually don't think that you should. Because a long time ago, and I love my mom. I love my sisters. But I come from a very, very white trash family. A long time ago, 20 years or so ago, I made the decision to put distance, physical distance, between myself and my family because I knew we weren't good for each other. I knew that I wasn't good for them and they weren't good for me. And I love them. I appreciate them. And I will always love them. But I'm not going to tell a person that I have zero idea, I've never walked a mile in their shoes, that they should patch up a relationship with a potentially abusive relative. That's your choice to make. And you may regret that choice. That's true. You might regret that choice, but it is your choice to make. And anybody that's out there that's making people feel super guilty about not patching up those relationships should actually feel guilty themselves. Because you don't know that person. You didn't walk a mile in their shoes, and you don't have the right to tell them that they should do that. Because maybe you feel like either you didn't do it or that they should. That's really sad. That's really sad. And these are also the people, just by the way, that are like, the left is a bunch of assholes. These are the people that do these things to people. Number 3, I tried to warn my sister about COVID risks due to her bad health. She said she would not limit where she went or worry about exposing others to COVID. She gave it to her husband, who later died. My sister was also hospitalized with COVID for 5 days and complained when there was a delay in treating her husband because there were no beds available in the hospital. Like, that's insane. And like I said, every one of these stories that we're reading right now have some type of empathy in them. A person attempting to help somebody else and then getting punished for having empathy. Number 4, I'm half indigenous and Latin. I'm Brazilian studying in the U.S. My ex-boyfriend is an American, white, and was a Trump supporter. Every time he opened his mouth, he said something that hurt my existence. Yes, I still put up with it for a few months because I was in an abusive relationship and it wasn't easy to get out of, but I did it. Now I'm here on my own and happier. And, congrats to that person for getting out of it. That's like the most insane thing. Like, you have a significant other that you love and appreciate, supposedly, allegedly, and then to have that person to like a political figure, you chose a political figure over the person that you allegedly love. That's fucking insane. Everybody is complaining that the right is starting to become cancel culture, but white Christian nationalist cancel culture. Think about it. Oh yeah, no, I know. I understand. I agree with that. Luck. Trump put autism in reverse. Trump put autism in reverse. Yeah, AG, what's best for your family, not the government? Yeah, no, 100%. Unfortunately, the Gordian knot of autism. What's happening, Mike? What's happening, Mike? Oh, Jesus. All right. Number 5. My best friend of 20 years started sending me all the conspiracy theories that she heard. Sounds familiar. Kept doing this even after we agreed to never talk politics. Finally, I told her, you vote for whoever you want and I will vote for whoever I want. Seems this offended her. She said we were done as friends. At least with my family members, they haven't gone that far, but they definitely get very upset when I push back on anything. It's a one-way current now. It is the memes and the conspiracy theories get sent to me. If I dare to send anything back, I am the biggest asshole that has ever existed. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. I feel that one pretty good. Number 6. Sadly, my mom's side of the family and some on my dad's side are in the cult of Trump. You really can't reason with these people. My sister literally deactivated her Facebook because of 2 of our indoctrinated relatives hounded her about what she said about Trump and Ukraine. Our younger cousins, one older cousin who is trans, and my mom, sister, and I are the only ones with a level head about Trump now. We initially bought this crap, but after January 6th, we woke the hell up, thank God. And that's actually, like, that's a good story, because I do tell you guys oftentimes that there should be a path of redemption to for some people. I do hope that some of these people come back from this shit. But, you know, a lot of it is looking worse and worse like they're not. I think that the more that Trump doesn't come through, the more that Trump acts crazy, the crazier the people that follow him get. So, you know, good on these people for waking up to it and realizing that, you know, Trump was not a good person and coming back from it. But unfortunately, I bet those family members are probably done. Like I said before, if Trump passes away in the next few years, check on your MAGA family. You check on them, because there's going to be some fucking Hellbop Comet shit going on right there. Hellbop Comet. Number 7. My sister was totally into everything Trump said or did. I loved her very much and told her on several occasions that I did not want to discuss politics with her because we would never agree. It didn't matter what I tried to bring up, the rest of the family, even recipes, she always brought up something Trump related. She loved to write letters, and they would always include opinion pieces on how wonderful Trump was. I eventually stopped calling her. I still sent her cards and letter telling her that I loved her, but I usually threw hers away unopened. When she died, I had not spoken to her for a year. I still miss my pre-Trump sister, but I don't regret not speaking to her for that year. I had to save my sanity. And that's what I was just saying. Like, you do. You have to save your sanity. And that's really important. And that even goes for people on the left that are very anti-Trump. Like, it shouldn't be the only thing you guys talk about. It shouldn't be the only thing that I talk about. I tell you guys all the time, watch movies, read books, watch sports, have hobbies, go outside, take walks. Like, if everything about your life is anti-Trump, you're falling into the same trap that these people are falling into. And, you know, we oftentimes allow ourselves to become what we hate because we become so invested in fighting against it. So I continue to say this. I actually 100% understand what this person is saying, because I once sat with my father-in-law trying to watch basketball on an Easter Sunday. And this was back when Barack Obama was president. This is Tea Party Patriot times. And I literally tried to not talk politics because I was not political at that time. And I put it on basketball. And of course, because it involves black Americans, Barack Obama was brought up. The blacks are the reason that Obama was elected. I got into statistics. I ended up getting called an idiot. And my father-in-law left on Easter while my wife was breastfeeding our newborn. 100% know how this lady feels, actually. Number 8. I cut my aunt and uncle. I'm going to start saying off. I don't think this person actually cut their aunt and uncle. I cut my aunt and uncle off for supporting January 6th. No big loss. Yeah, I mean, it's weird to even have that discussion with people, but like, you know, once you start doing mental gymnastics for insurrection, you're kind of lost. Number 9. My older sister voted for the toe fungus wearing a people suit. That's weird. That's a weird sentence. But my older sister voted for the toe fungus wearing a people suit. I let her explain why, and part of it is because Biden killed babies in the womb. She also said it feels like people hear she voted for him and suddenly that's all they see, like a veil over her, and it isn't fair. I just can't even. I listened to all of her reasons, and it just isn't rational. And when they say that, that's all they see, it's like a veil over her, it's because it's all you talk about. Like when you say, well, I support Trump and people only hate me. You're wearing a shirt. You got a fucking hat on. You've got merchandise. You donate to his fucking Get to Heaven fund. That's why people think that. Also, by the way, Biden is Catholic. Biden is pro-life. I know that we forgot this, but you can be on the left and be pro-life. It's just that you recognize that other people can be pro-choice. That is like something that has been completely lost in all this bullshit with the polarization of the political parties. And this is why I oftentimes say people represent policy, not parties. Parties do not represent policy. people do. And that's because you can be on the left and be pro-life. You just need to understand that when you are voting, it is not acceptable for you to put restrictions on women and their health care because you're pro-life. You can be pro-life. You just don't get to tell others that they have to be. Susie Jones! What's happening, Susie Jones? I can't a normal person here? That's about right. Thanks for being a member for 5 months, Susie. I appreciate you. The left is pro-right. They are pro gun rights. Or I'm sorry, pro gun control. Yeah, that is true. My family claims to be very Christian and caring. I asked them if they were okay with people like our grandparents being dragged off the streets and put in camps like Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. They said they would be happy when they went to bed that night and would wake up the next day and everything would be great. Welcome to the disgusting fantasy world of Trumpism. That's pretty fucking wild. I mean, not the Christian part, just that they said that about their grandparents. And I know people are like, people aren't saying this isn't true. We've watched a million videos now. There are people out there that are very, very sick. Mentally, they are broken, and it's just getting worse, to be honest with you. And literally to the point that now people are praying for the rapture. Number 11, my family is deeply MAGA, but prior to going completely no contact, my father was in the front yard with 2 grandkids who were fighting. He scolded them and said, "What are the neighbors going to think of you acting this way?" And the little boy responded, "That we're liberals." The brainwashing starts very early. Oh my God! And I have actually heard kids say shit about liberals. I tell my kids are preteen and a teenager, and I tell them, don't discuss politics. Stay away from politics. Don't talk to your friends about politics. Don't listen to me when I'm talking about politics. It's important once you're old enough to get invested because the saying goes something like, you might not be interested in politics, but politics are interested in you. It's very important to learn and educate yourself, but don't spend your childhood fucking talking about liberals, guys, or even Trumpers. Jesus Christ, where are we at? Thank you for the $10, Mama Brooke. Thank you, Mama Brooke. Oh my God. Number 12. For numerous reasons, I cut out my aunt and her offspring for doing and saying things that aligned with MAGA long before Trump came along. For instance, my uncle pressed me as to why I studied a foreign language to the point he became angry. What? Oh my God. My mom's last straw was a discussion about Trump and his administration's policies and tactics. Even though my aunt and her family claimed not to have voted for Trump, my aunt defended his deplorable actions. When my mom said his administration will detain, arrest, and deport people that are undocumented legal residents, DACA, naturalized citizens, and or U.S. citizens, so long as we are black, brown, or look Latino, we all risk being deported. Since to them, we are the other. My aunt's cheerful response was, well, XYZ's daughters have light-colored hair and have a fair complexion, as well as my daughters, so that won't happen to my daughters and granddaughters. Disgusted by my aunt's remarks and values, my mom asked me to block her on her phone, to which I happily complied. Wow. That's fucking third person there even. You're the person that's having to block the person for the other person because the person was talking to the other person and was complete garbage. And that's MAGA 101. It'll never happen to me. I know people that have children that 100% look like they could be Hispanic that are not. And I guarantee you that they're not afraid. They think that Trump won't take them, even though we all know that Trump recently deported or detained and is holding for deportation an Irish woman who is white. This is about getting rid of people that are not American citizens. They are trying to get rid of any and every person they can from this country. And in my opinion, it's not even because of them specifically being immigrants. It's because they want to get rid of people that potentially could be taking low-skilled jobs so that way they can force people that shouldn't be working, that are on welfare, that are on Medi-Cal, that don't have an ability to work because they're disabled into these jobs. That's just my opinion, though. Wow. I can't push the button. I keep wanting to push the button. What an insane article. That's only 12 of the stories. You guys know there's like a million more stories on that, guys. There's like a million more stories. Oh my God. Let's see. Let's watch the Tom Homan thing. I don't know how much time we got. What's up, Mitchell? What's going on, Mitchell? What's up, Angela? How's it going? Skelts? What's going on, guys? All right. Let's see. Yeah, let's watch this this Jasmine Crockett, because I wanted to talk about. Let's watch this Jasmine Crockett because I wanted to talk about the Tom Homan stuff. Because for most of you that know, Tom Homan was allegedly recorded on video by the FBI, taking a $50,000 bribe to get future contracts for people in Trump's administration about immigration. So I wanted to watch this video because, of course, they're trying to cover this up, and now the DOJ has dropped all charges as far as this goes, and they're not going to investigate. So let's watch this video, and we'll talk about the Tom Homan investigation.
Here's the opening line of the House letter to the Attorney General and FBI Director today. Quote, do the DOJ and the FBI have video and audio recordings of Tom Homan accepting $50,000 in cash bribes? It certainly sounds like you do. Joining us now is Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She's a member of...
It's my queen. Get him, Jasmine.
...the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees.
Why does the presence of that video matter?
Well, seeing is believing, at least for some of us, because as we know, January 6th is highly disputed about what happened on that day. But, you know, especially if he's not...
Highly disputed? Highly disputed? I think not. That shit was an insurrection.
Disputed about what happened on that day. But, you know, especially if he's not going to come clean about what he did. And with all the conspiracies that this White House and this administration is constantly putting out, the best thing that we can do is have some proof for those that actually want to know the truth. So I hope that we can get that video footage. But last I checked, we're still having problems getting the rest of these Epstein files out of the Department of Justice.
Oh, that's right. Release the files.
So I'm not really sure. It seems like the Attorney General is too busy trying to figure out if the president is tweeting her about something or truthing her or whatever you want to call it, or texting. I'm not really sure because he's real concerned about Tish James and trying to figure out why we can't prosecute Tish James. Yet sitting in his administration, it seems clear that he has plenty of criminals amongst him, including himself.
Yeah, and people need to stop making excuses for these people. Like, this is just, you know, blatantly at this point, they don't care whether or not Trump's in those files. They don't care whether or not that Donald Trump burns this country to the ground. They don't care if the economy gets better. They don't care if grocery prices go up. This is 100% if you are a MAGA Republican, you don't care. And people should stop giving you any good faith or grace that you do. You can say as much as you want that, no, like he's going to do this, he's going to do that, like all those things. You don't care. The only thing you care about is that the liberals get owned. That's it. This is what you voted for. You're such a basic ass piece of shit, garbage human being that, like, at the end of the day, you would watch this country burn to the ground, the supposed country that you love, burn to the ground just to make a liberal cry. People need to stop being good faith with these people and just call it how it is. These people are full of shit. They don't care if Homan took $50,000. They don't care if there's waste, fraud, and corruption. They don't care if they ever get a Doge check. They don't care about any of these things. They just want to own libs.
That maybe should be prosecuted, but we're not going to talk about that.
You know, it is, I do think that this is not just about Tom Homan, but he is another person in a long line of people in this administration. And it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Right. And so I understand why you all are asking for the details, especially because the White House, from the press briefing room, Caroline Leavitt the other day.
See, to be honest with you, like, this whole conversation is too good faith for me. Like, I mean, I get it. I like that, you know, the left oftentimes tries to continue to keep the decorum where it needs to be and all those things. I do appreciate that, but we should watch a video at one point, which is it's a video from Old Life Stories or something like that. I'll show you guys the channel. And it's a video on ethics and liberalism and how liberalism is feckless. Like, it literally is useless when it comes to any time in which there's a place of power that needs to be fought against, because there's a lot that's going to be said and very little that is ever going to be accomplished. And it's because our leaders refuse to engage in a way that is meaningful. And, there's something that needs to be done about that. And come November 3rd, when the primaries come around for certain elections, and then come 2026, when those, if we still have a fucking country in 2026, when those come around, it's time to start replacing these feckless Dems and start finding people that are not going to, be scared of doing something about this situation. Because one of the great things that this video I'm talking about points out is how the constant fear of the left is that, well, if we take down Trump in that manner, then we're just replacing Trump with another authoritarian. And it's like, you're never going to win if you're always constantly worried about how what you are doing could be used as a weapon against you. You look at what the right wing is doing right now, and they don't give a shit. They literally gaslit the left into not stopping them from calling people the N-word, to not stopping them from expressing their anti-Semitism. They gaslit the left into not doing that, and then turned around and did it. Do you think the right's sitting around going, oh, I'm really concerned right now that the left's going to use it on us? No, only people like Joe Rogan or Ted Cruz, certain people like that are saying, but when you talk about MAGA, MAGA doesn't give one shit about the fact that there's a potential that the left can use that against them. Because why? Because MAGA will just use violence. Oh, thank you for the $5. Fantradeath, thank you for the $5. It's the stupidest timeline, not the worst. The worst one was the one where Rush Limbaugh was president and Epstein openly released his autobiography. Fantradeath, that is, don't say things like that.
They said, oh, he didn't take the money. And then when Laura Ingraham asked him, he said, well, I didn't do anything criminal or illegal. But did you take the money? Because my MSNBC colleague said that there's internal documents that say you did, and it's on camera. That being said, the Department of Justice has acknowledged the letter that the House Judiciary letter. The FBI has not yet acknowledged it. This is from the letter. During the Reagan administration, E. Robert Wallach was convicted for taking payments while promising to influence contracts once he received a Justice Department appointment, despite not having landed a job at the time he pocketed the bribes. That is exactly what Mr. Holman did here. If that's what he did, why didn't the Biden Department of Justice charge him?
I have no idea. Obviously, I don't serve.
Yeah, and that's, once again, that needs to be discussed. That needs to be discussed. And most likely, the reason it wasn't was because they were afraid that Donald Trump would then use that against them. And that's bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. That's where liberalism is feckless, right? It's like, you need to understand, if you're of the liberal ideology, that there are flaws and weaknesses inherent in all ideologies, in all parties. And this is why I said, like, we should get away from this idea of, like, parties represent values and get to a place where people represent values, where politicians don't get to run on party, but on values, on policy. Because if you're liberal, you should be able to say to yourself, like, I do agree with this many different things from the liberal ideology, but I can also agree that what is going on right now in MAGA is that they 100% are doing all the things that we were afraid they would do if we did them first, right? Like, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump fucking gets the Supreme Court to 13 and just loads it with Republicans. Like, the very thing that people are so afraid of, right? Like, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump does any of these things that the Democrats have been afraid to do, but the opposite from their side. I mean, Donald Trump is already doing all of those things, right? Donald Trump is already saying to the courts, I don't give a shit. I'm not doing what you say. Good luck. See you in court. Biden would never have done that. And that's most likely the reason why he didn't do it, was because he was probably afraid that this would get turned on the liberals, on the Democrats, if they took office. And it's already been done to you. Look at Letitia James. Look at James Comey. Like, it's already been turned on you.
In the DOJ, I'm in the legislative branch. But I
Is that a question you have? I'm wondering.
No, I mean, hopefully we can get an answer to that as well. I think, just this week or last week, I talked about, if there was one disappointment I had, is the fact that, there wasn't an aggressive prosecution on the now president of the United States, because maybe he could have been sitting somewhere not bothering the rest of us if we had just kind of done our part and made sure there was prosecutions that went forward a little quicker. But as it relates to this particular thing, I think it is important for the American people to understand that when it comes to things such as conspiracy, which is laid out in this letter, it's not whether or not the underlying offense actually takes place. For instance, when you were talking about solicitation, if you're talking about solicitation and it has to do with, say, prostitution, it's not a matter of whether or not the prostitution took place. The solicitation is complete once you actually engage in the agreement. That is enough for solicitation. So I think, number one, we've already got a bit of an admission from this administration when the press secretary said he was entrapped. Well, entrapment is a defense. And so you only get to use entrapment if you've actually committed the underlying offense. It's like self-defense, right? Like self-defense, you have to admit to committing the offense, and then you can raise the defense. So
you better lawyer it out for the people.
Well, and this is one of those things. This is why I can't be, there's no good faith left with MAGA Republicans. You can't argue with them, because they'll sit here and tell you like that Jasmine Crockett isn't intelligent. Like, she literally can sit there and lay that out in that manner. She's a former lawyer. She can lay it out in that manner in which it's easy to understand. She's well-spoken, and she understands the topic material, right? And they'll just come at you with, well, she's stupid. She doesn't even know what she's saying. Jasmine Crockett, you like Jasmine Crockett? Psh, I'm out of here. What a moron. You can't with these people anymore. There is no, there's no healing that divide. Those people have really... They're neck deep in the Kool-Aid. They're drinking the whole goddamn vat. Like, you're not going to be able to talk to him. And what she lists out there, the way she says what she's saying, is easily understandable. And that is, if Holman had not committed a crime, then he wouldn't already be presenting a defense. That's pretty fucking simple and very well laid out.
That's why the president always got something to say about you, because you got the underlying details.
But that's the same thing with this entrapment thing that they're now saying. But when it comes down to conspiracy, the conspiracy is complete at the agreement. And so whether or not, you could actually carry it out doesn't matter. What matters is that you made the agreement. And now, just like we saw in Nixon, when Nixon decided, you know what, it's getting a little too hot in here, in a bipartisan way, they're about to boot me, I'm going to just go ahead and bow out. Part of the biggest issue with Nixon was the cover-up of it. That became the bigger issue. And now that's what we see with this administration. Not only are they going out and they are doing illegal things, they are then engaging in a cover-up over these things instead of just being transparent.
And the interesting thing about that is when you look at how this all started in Western Texas, right? When apparently an informant started saying, hey, this guy, Holman, is going around and he's soliciting bribes or wants something in order to help people once he gets inside, Trump has a second term. That then triggers the FBI investigation, because the word on the street is Holman is in business, basically, right?
I am so happy you are breaking this down. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so once Mr. Holman is identified as being in business on the street, so in other words, this ain't coming from inside the Biden administration, right? This isn't coming from inside some, Democratic caucus room.
Correct.
This is coming from the streets of Texas about what's going on.
Not the Democratic streets.
And not the Democratic streets. That then triggers the FBI.
Oh, this right here. This is just like the ultimate fucking rage bait for a Trump supporter right now. 3 educated black people. This is a fucking ultimate Trump supporter rage bait right here.
I love the poorly educated.
Dude, they fucking...
In Springfield, They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Dude, this is the ultimate Trump supporter rage bait right here.
To go,
Correct.
what's going on?
Correct.
And they set up a sting.
So you're breaking down why, for sure, it's not entrapment.
That's
okay?
right.
Because what entrapment is me coercing you to do something that you had no idea you wasn't trying to do or nothing. Okay? But when we're talking about getting the type of authority that you're going to need to be able to give out $50,000.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because it's like, if you are busted by a undercover cop posing as a prostitute, right? Like, that's not entrapment. You can't be like, them titties, though. You can't be like, I was just driving past and I wasn't really looking for a good time. But them titties, though. I was like, I pulled over and I was like, actually, it turns out I am ready for some sex. That's not entrapment. That's not entrapment. If you pay an undercover cop for sex because you think they're a prostitute, that's not entrapment. That's them titties.
In cash, that is not going to be on just I'm trying to trap somebody.
Right.
That has to literally clear the traps. Okay. And typically it's a matter of, this happens a lot of times with dope boys. Like, it happens all the time. This is how they work their cases. It's typically they bring somebody in who's lower level, who's trying not to go to prison, who says, I will help you to get to the people that are really at the top. And so they get this information from those people, and then they set up their investigations. They follow up. They try to figure out if there's any veracity. They obviously were able to get a lot of corroboration to the extent that someone signed off on an agent being able to sign out $50,000 in cash.
And that's a critical piece. That's a critical piece.
The one thing I have to say about all this is it still drives me nuts to this day. I can watch these people talk about these things, and Jasmine definitely has some attitude. Like, she definitely sounds like she's not happy with what's going on, right? But to sit there and so calmly explain that there's a guy in the government that is the head of all of this deportation and everything that's going on, the people being snatched off the streets, people not getting due process, to sit there and just talk about this and just be like, this is a thing that's happening, and not have people being like, what the fuck are we talking about? This is crazy. Like, we need to do something. Like that, to me, it feels like, once again, when we talk about how the left takes care of business, how they go about doing something about a problem, right? Solving a problem. It almost always comes down to, we're going to present evidence of the wrongdoing of the right, and eventually the populace is going to wake up and see that they've done all this bad, and then they're going to go out and vote, and then we win, right? But to me, that's like, it's not enough. Like, I really liked seeing Ro Khanna with the survivor of the Epstein victims. I've really liked seeing Bernie Sanders and the AOC going from state to state, going to places like West Virginia and converting Trump supporters into Bernie supporters, right? And that's because that's actually doing something. When we talk about like the Chuck Schumers and the Hakeem Jeffries, it's like, oh, they sent a strongly worded letter to Donald Trump about the CR, and boy, he's in trouble if he doesn't respond to that letter. It's like, that's not doing anything. Like, I get the idea from the left of saying, like, you know, like going further and engaging in physical violence is not the way, because that leads to the destruction of the country, right? I get that that's a good defense of not going that far, and understand. But then why aren't you doing things? Why aren't you doing what Ro Khanna is doing? Why aren't you doing what Bernie Sanders is doing? There's so many people on the left that could be engaging on these topics that are choosing not to, and they're literally sitting on their hands. And, you know, when you have people on the left that start calling those people out and saying, well, the reason that they're not doing this is because of the money that they're taking from billionaires, from AIPAC, from whatever, you know, dark money source or whatever money source, because not everything's dark money. when they start criticizing you for that, it's like I said, that's when those people do need to be removed. Those people do need to be primaried, because they're not going to ever do anything for you, even if they agree with you ideologically, even if, let's say, they believe in the policies of being pro-choice, they believe in unions, they believe in being pro-immigration, they believe in pro-LGBT rights, even if they believe all those things, and they're still not willing to get out and do anything that can have a positive impact on us after we vote for them, then they have to be primary. They have to be removed. So, I mean, I like that I see them talking about this, but it seems like it lacks, it just seems like what it's giving, the voters will do something about this. Why is it always the voters? It's time for the congressmen, the congress people, to do something about this.
Alicia, when you look at when the FBI finally sees that the elements of a potential crime are in place. I mean, it's not just...
Thank you for the $5 Fancher death. Not doing anything equals lack of activism. Get out and protest. It drives the right insane to see that there are people that don't agree with them. Yeah, and also it drives Donald Trump insane. And like I said, all these things that people are doing right now, like trolling him with the statues, Jimmy Kimmel standing up for himself and standing up for America and not capitulating, ABC or whatever, Disney, I guess it would be, even though they faltered at the beginning. It seems like they've done a good job since then. Like, everybody has to do their part. You have to be active. You have to do something. You have to speak to people. Like, I think oftentimes, like I said, I hate that the left eats its own. And I don't like when left-wing people start shitting on other left-wing people for choosing to do things in a different way. But if your way of doing things is to just sit back and let it take care of itself, I'm going to shit on you for that. That is one place where when someone on the left shits on you, if you're on the left, because you're like, dude, like, people are going to see how crazy this is and they'll just vote in 2028 to remove this whole thing. Like that, I'm going to shit on you for that. Like that, like I said, that's feckless. What we need to be doing is we need to be doing something. And like I said before, the military has the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the National Guard, whatever, the Marines. There are different ways to go about accomplishing the same goal, and we do need people filling each of those lanes. We need protesters. We need you, if you're just a person that has family members that are on the fence, talking to those people. We need people that have a voice that can be, that can reach people on the internet or in TV or, by going to events and speaking. All of those things. We need all of those things. Because it's not about one thing. It's not about doing things one way. It's about doing things from a diverse amount of angles and combining all of our powers like fucking Captain Planet. This always pisses me off. This pisses me off when I think about the left. I'm like, the left is fucking the most Captain Planet party that has ever existed, but they can't Captain Planet. They can't Captain Planet because it's like fire, earth, wind, and then the one that's heart's like, well, I don't really agree with wind, though. I don't really agree with wind, because, wind, I saw the other day, wind voted on something I don't like. And it's like, put your fucking hand in. Fucking fire's over there going, water sometimes, even though we agree on 90% of all the things we believe, water sometimes. Put your fucking hand in. We're trying to make Captain Planet. Like, that's the left. You don't get to fucking accomplish the goal unless you all put your fucking rings in. Put your fucking rings in.
Simone coming to the FBI and saying, hey, Michael's doing something.
Yes.
There's got to be some corroboration along the way. And that's the part that's the trap. Yeah. Because you're corroborating and don't even know it.
Yeah, that's the thing. So if somebody walks up to Michael and says, hey, I got $50,000. I know you a Republican, so Trump probably about to be elected. How about I give you this $50,000 and then you hook me up with some stuff? That's entrapment. Because Michael, I'm just minding my business and Trump ain't even my guy. Exactly. Right? That's the thing. Yeah. But when it's a matter of different people and when you have multiple people that are saying, hey, this guy is out here fishing, and the bad part is that he actually could have gone forward, which would have been a whole other issue. That's right. Because what we see that they've done, just like we've complained for a very long time about mass incarceration, that it's about profiting in this country, right? And so now they've thrown these people into these makeshift bootleg prisons. I've had an opportunity to go down to one of the detention facilities facilities. We know that it's a whole cluster when we look at Alligator Alcatraz. The idea that we even have one is the most inhumane violation of the Eighth Amendment if I ever saw one before. But nevertheless, they have set these things up. There's all these contracts that are going out. When I went to El Paso, I asked them approximately how many people are working here. They told me hundreds of people. It was, I think, 700 people a day were working at this facility. So I asked how many are federal government employees. It was 25. Everybody else was on a contract. Everybody got a contract from somewhere. And I can promise you 10 out of 10 of them contracts are Trump's homies, right? And people that Holman was trying to say, yo, I'm a...
That's what MAGA hates right there. She said homies. That's why I'm like, fucking bring me in, put me in, coach. I will ride with my friend Jasmine Crockett. Like, you want to talk ghetto, man, I can talk ghetto. You want to call somebody ghetto, you can call me ghetto. That shit don't hurt my feelings. I know where I fucking came from. I'm good on that. Let's talk about it. Like, I know that right there, that word right there, her just saying his homies, just rage baits the shit out of Donald Trump and his supporters.
Hook you up. We're going to have contracts because we about to go round up all these people of color and we going to put them somewhere and y'all going to make money off of it.
They always say follow the money.
Always follow the money. Always follow the money.
Except for when it leads to somebody on your team. That's when they don't say follow the money. Then they're like, that money don't lead nowhere. We still got time. We got plenty of time to go over these other videos. We're doing good tonight. Look at us. We are mobbing through the videos. Well, we have to do our Epstein segment because we do an Epstein segment every single fucking stream 3 times a week. We talk about Epstein. Release the files. So let's get down here. Here you guys go. This is actually really good news. This is something that just happened recently. The Arizona special election just happened, and I think I told you guys this quite a while ago. Probably about 2.5 weeks ago, I told you guys when this election happens, we have enough votes with, I think there's 4 or 5 Republicans that have joined up to force a vote for the Epstein files on the floor, right? And I told you guys, I said, watch, it's going to get weird. Go back 2 weeks. What is it? The 24th. Go back from the 10th to where we are now. And ask yourself, how weird did it get in this last window? A lot of people are just saying just in the last 3 or 4 days, it's gotten super weird, right? And that's because Trump is doing everything he possibly can right now to distract people, to blow a hole in the left, to make it so that way you don't have a solid front. He wants everybody to leave Epstein alone because he knows this is his kryptonite. He knows this is not just the end of Donald Trump's administration, but of Donald Trump, period, and possibly the people that are in his administration as well. So that has happened now. The election has gone through, and it says Trump faces major Epstein blow as House vote looms to release new files. Members of the House of Representatives now have enough support to force a vote to release the Epstein files after Republican leaders desperately tried to avoid doing that for months. You should, if you're a Republican and you watch this video, you should be saying to yourself right now, that's wild. That's wild. That statement right there. Members of the House of Representatives now have enough support to force a vote to release the Epstein files after Republican leaders desperately tried to avoid doing that for months. Like, this isn't like, once everything's out now, actually all things forgiven, right? No. You don't get to do what these people have been doing and hide and defend pedos over on whatever side, right? Left, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't get to defend the pedos and then move on. It's wild that we are having to jump through this many hoops just to get the files released, which was something that was promised by Kash Patel, by Don Bajana, by J.D. Vance, by Don Jr., by Trump himself. And yet the only people that have stood on business so far are I think it's Josh Hawley, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and Rand Paul. I think I might be wrong about the 4, but I think that's who it is. Oh, I'm going to read it now, of course, right? A bipartisan group in the House led by Donald Trump's GOP foe, Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky, and Democratic Rep. Ro Khanna of California, has been pushing to release the files on the late convicted sex offender for months, but Speaker Mike Johnson pushed back. That's because Mike Johnson probably in them files, too. Republican congressional leaders have been accused of trying to provide cover for the Trump administration as President Donald Trump and his team have tried to move past their botched file release. It wasn't a release. It was literally stuff that was already out. The phase 1, everything had already been out. The 33,000 files that came out, 97% of it was all released already. The logs, the black book, all that shit we already know about. We want the real evidence. Release the files. Earlier this month, Massey filed a discharge petition to force the vote. It needed 218 signatures in the House, but it was just one short of that until now. Voters in Arizona on Tuesday elected Democrat Adelita Grijalva in a special election to replace her father, late Rep. Raul Grijalva. Oh, God, I got it the first time. Second time was hard. Whose seat had been vacant since he passed away in March. That is poetic. That is poetic. That the daughter takes the father's seat and ends up being the vote that potentially gets the files released. I mean, I say potentially because I don't think even this will do it. I think that the Department of Justice will stonewall it. I think that the Department of Justice will just go, oh, we can't do it. We have this reason or that. It'll just get bogged down in court still, right? While it was considered a safe blue seat, Grijalva's victory will further narrow Republicans' already razor-thin majority in the House. She is expected to provide the 218th signature for the discharge petition to force a vote on the Epstein files when she is sworn into office in the coming days. So that's soon. I said get ready for it to be crazy over the next couple weeks. Imagine how crazy it's about to get, guys. If there is an ability... I love escalator. I love ballroom. Oh, luck. If there is a potential for these things to get actually released, guys, how crazy is it about to get? How nuts is the propaganda about to be? The pressure for the Epstein files has been unrelenting for months, ever since the Trump administration dramatically reversed course on release of files as promised. Despite bipartisan demand, Congress skipped town for August recess without holding a vote, but pressure picked back up full force when the House returned earlier this month with a discharge petition to force Johnson's hand to hold the vote. And by the way, they openly admitted that they wanted to take the vacation because they thought that the Epstein furor would die down while they're on vacation. This is how fucking crazy these people are. They thought that defending pedos could just be forgotten after a month. Just a month away. Just take a vacation, guys. Just take a vacation. And everybody will just completely forget that you guys don't want us to know about that client list. That's insane. Insane. The Epstein Files Transparency Act would require the Justice Department to release all unclassified records, documents, communications, and other material in its possession that relate to the investigation into Epstein, as well as material on his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving 20 years in prison for sex trafficking at a really nice prison now. Saw her on a walk the other day. Yeah, she was out taking a walk, guys. The Justice Department would specifically be allowed only to withhold the personal information of victims. Massey and Khanna held a massive press conference with multiple Epstein victims on Capitol Hill after Congress returned from its recess with alleged Epstein survivors. Which, again, once again, Donald Trump did not go down and shake the hands of the victims. One of the survivors said, "I'm a Republican. I voted for you. We should talk. Like, this is bullshit. Donald Trump doesn't want anything to do with her." There should be no further evidence necessary than literally a Republican going, "It's all good. I'm not trying to blame you. I'm not saying you're one of these people. Just come talk to me so that way we can get justice." And Donald Trump's like, "Fuck your couch." And then J.D. Vance did it. The group of women voiced full support for the bill to release the files, contradicting some claims for those who oppose the effort. However, even if the discharge petition is successful and the House passes the bill, it would also need to pass in the Senate. President Donald Trump would also have to sign it into law, which he is unlikely to do after blasting the effort to release the documents on his former friend Epstein as a host by Democrats. So there you go. There you go. That's what is going to happen. Is it's going to go to the Senate. It's going to not pass the Senate. You're going to get to see which senators voted against it. And even if it passes the Senate, when it gets to Trump's desk, Trump will not sign it. There's not going to be a release of the Epstein files. They're not going to do it. The only thing they fear right now is being outed by who does and who does not vote, or who does and does not sign. That's it. But at this point in Donald Trump's administration, I'm sure he has complete confidence that if he does not sign it, even if the bill gets to his desk and sits on his desk and he does not sign it, that he will not lose MAGA Republican support. He has literally called them stupid. He has called them weak. He has said only smart people like me. He said the only I love the poorly educated. He doesn't care if people don't like the fact that he doesn't sign that bill. And he's not going to sign that bill. But I guarantee you this, if we continue to push, and we will, if this is 4 fucking years, I will be here for 3 days a week for the next 4 years, pushing every single story I get out on this channel until these survivors get justice. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't care if that means Bill Clinton's name's in those files. I don't care if it's Stephen Hawking's or Noam Chomsky's, or if it's Donald Trump or billionaire Republican donors. It's all the same to me. So, release the files. All right, what else do we have to talk about here? Oh, damn, Bernie just got lost. Sorry, Bernie. Sorry, Burns. Sorry, Burns. Let's talk about this because this is actually really important. I want to talk about this. This one actually is pretty important, and I don't see anybody talking about this. So I want to talk about the Trump administration canceling annual food security estimates. But I do want, first, that just like completely, not completely off topic, but I do want to watch this video real quick because I didn't watch it, and I know a lot of you guys did. And this is Donald Trump saying that he does not care about healing this country.
How do we fix this country? How do we come back together?
I'll tell you something that's going to get me in trouble, but I couldn't care less. The radicals on the right oftentimes are radical because they don't want to see crime.
That is about the most ridiculous statement I've heard this guy ever say, and that is fucking saying something.
They don't want to see crime.
Worried about the border.
They're saying we
Oh, these people.
We don't want these people coming in. We don't want you burning our shopping centers. We don't want you shooting our people in the middle of the street.
Tell me again, who was Charlie Kirk's, who was the suspect? Was that an immigrant, guys? Guys, was that an immigrant? I can't remember. Was that an immigrant? Who were the parents of the Charlie Kirk suspect? Was there a political affiliation? I can't remember, guys. I can't remember. Was it an immigrant?
The radicals on the left are the problem, and they're vicious, and they're horrible, and they're politically savvy.
How?
So amazing. So anyways, I just wanted to watch that real quick with you guys. Fucking amazing, guys. All right. Trump administration cancels annual food security estimates. The Trump administration has called off the government's annual estimate of household food security. These redundant, costly, politicized, and extraneous studies do nothing more than fearmonger, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said in a statement over the weekend. No, I guarantee you, if there was fearmongering to be had from these studies, Donald Trump and his administration would be doing everything they can to continue their existence. Let me just say this to you. This is the suppression of statistics. This is the suppression of CPI data. The fact that multiple cities now do not have enough people in the Bureau of Labor Statistics to report CPI and have stopped reporting CPI. The fact that PPI lost something like 350 of its indexes and is no longer reporting on any of those anymore. The fact that Donald Trump fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics head and replaced it with a person that he got, who then still reported bad numbers for Donald Trump, who now Donald Trump is now claiming those numbers have been fixed before the person got there. All of these things are an attempt to tell you that this country's economy is doing great, guys. It's doing great. And you know what? They're actually not lying. It is doing great. It's doing great for rich people. It's doing great for wealthy corporations. And once again, we are seeing a transfer of wealth from the middle class, the working class, and the poor to the ultra wealthy in our society. And what they'd really like you to do is stop paying attention to numbers. And they already know they don't have to convince MAGA Republicans not to do that because they know MAGA Republicans hate numbers. Look, the only thing that you can get a MAGA Republican to do is look at a graph that says that transgender people commit more violence than anybody else. Are they ever going to go and look up the statistics on why that's not true? Of course not. Why?
Look at my African American. I love the poorly educated. Look at him.
Wrong button.
I love the poorly educated.
That's why. Also, he loves his African American over there. Because he loves the poorly educated. That's why. Because the poorly educated will never, ever look up why this statistic even exists. Why it's important to know about food insecurity. And these fuckers are the same people that are going to complain about their grocery bills and how they can't pay their rent and how the country is broken. But they will literally applaud the obfuscation of the statistics that would actually show that they need the help that fucking they're asking for. Because they're poorly educated. It's President Donald Trump's starkest attack on economic data since he fired the head of the BLS last month over unfavorable job numbers. And it comes as the Trump administration prepares to enact food benefit cuts Republicans push through the Congress to help pay for tax cuts. Who did those tax cuts go to? Those tax cuts overwhelmingly went to the ultra wealthy. The most recent household food security report released in September of 2024 showed rising food insecurity, with 13.5% of households reporting food insecurity in 2023, up from 12.8% the previous year and 10.2% in 2021. And look, this is actually one place where I do agree with MAGA. Food insecurity, it's just a bad way to say it. Like, the left oftentimes wants to church up shit. They're afraid of saying certain things. And sometimes the left needs to stop with that bullshit. The left needs to just say what this is. People are poor and they can't afford food. You are not dealing with a society that understands what food insecurity is. And just because the people you hang around happen to like those words does not mean it is the most effective vehicle to get across the point you are trying to make. Just fucking put it in terms these people can understand. Poor people can't afford food. It's driving me nuts. I hate all the words. I hate the unhoused. They're homeless. Like, I've never met a homeless person in my life that was ever like, brother, you can't be calling me homeless. I prefer unhoused. The house challenged. Like, we gotta stop with that shit, man. You are talking to a level of human being in this country that reads at like a 5th grade level. You can't be saying shit like household food security. You gotta break it down into simpler terms, all right? Food insecurity is not the same as hunger. It means a household had trouble providing food. So this is all I'm saying. You got to break it down into a whole fucking paragraph? Just say it. It means they're too poor to afford food. It's not the same as hunger. It means a household had trouble providing food for all of its members at some point during the year due to the lack of resources. Only 5.1% of households reported very low food security in last year's report, meaning food intake was reduced and eating patterns were disrupted at times. The same percentage of households experienced very low food security in 2022. Roof deficiency. That's what I'm talking about. Owner-driver rig. God damn it. That's what I'm saying. Like this is the left's problem. The left needs like 18 paragraphs to describe that poor people can't afford to eat. Fucking, I just said it for you. To the Trump USDA, the entire concept of food insecurity is apparently woke propaganda designed to boost political support for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That's SNAP, which is food stamps, which the administration is paring back with the help from Republicans in Congress to do what? To pay for ultra-wealthy corporate taxes. And the funniest thing about this is how many of these Republicans are on SNAP. Red states benefit from SNAP. It's fucking mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Literally just vote against your own interests. For 30 years, this study, initially created by the Clinton administration as a means to support the increase of SNAP eligibility and benefit allotments, failed to present anything more than subjective liberal fodder. The USDA said that in an unsigned press release. Awesome. Yeah, I wouldn't sign that either. Trends in the prevalence of food insecurity have remained virtually unchanged, regardless of an over 87% increase in SNAP spending between 2019 and 2023. The thing about that is probably if you look at statistics and the way that they're done, I guarantee that once again they are obfuscating why that food insecurity percentage has not changed. You're probably looking at like increases in population, the less percentage of people in the impoverished community. Like one of the things that we do look at as a positive in this country is that we are getting more and more poor people out of the impoverished, but that's going to change when you start taking away things like Medicare, when you take away things like SNAP benefits, when you make unemployment harder, any of those things. Social safety nets. If you get rid of social safety nets, these food insecurity numbers are going to go up. That is fucking 1,000% logical. And if I need to put this in a way for people to understand, if poor people can't get food stamps, that means they will have less food security. They will starve. They will be hungry. Those numbers will go up. Thus, Trump does not want to do a food insecurity study because it will then show that while his administration was in charge, more people were starving. That's why he's doing this, just so you guys know that. I just want to break that down. I will be the Trump whisperer if I have to. SNAP spending has indeed increased dramatically in recent years, thanks especially to a boost during the Joe Biden administration and how benefit amounts are calculated. The 25% increase essentially maintained higher SNAP benefits that Congress created as a response to the coronavirus pandemic, which was important. The way that we got out of the pandemic and we did not go into a recession is because of all the stimulus that the government did during the Biden administration and even at the end of the Trump administration. One of the things that I've said over and over again that Donald Trump did well, Operation Warp Speed, and the fact that not the Affordable Care Act, it was American Recovery Act, was that Biden? Whichever one it was, Trump did one for $4 trillion at the end of his administration. Biden did one for like $2.5 trillion at the beginning of his. I've always said one of the things that he did that was good was Operation Warp Speed and the money going into the COVID response at the end. More than 20 million households receive SNAP benefits. The average monthly benefit dispersed on debit cards that can be used for food items at grocery stores is $356, which is not a lot of money. I mean, most families, I think, of four spend somewhere around like $250 every 2 weeks. Is it every 2 weeks or every week? I can't remember that one off the top of my head. Is it $250 every 2 weeks or every week? Either way, $356 is not very much money. The Congressional Budget Office estimated cuts included as part of the tax cut law would reduce SNAP enrollment by about 2.4 million individuals. Separately, the administration is working with the states to disallow SNAP recipients from using benefits to purchase sugary drinks and junk food, which I don't have a problem with, actually. I do think that you should be very careful because the more... So this is going to be the liberal argument against making it so you can't eat junk food or buy like Coke and stuff like that on your SNAP benefits. Is that being a person that works in the grocery environment, I can tell you that you have to qualify as a store for something like WIC, which is the how you can get like bread, cheese, diapers, formula, all of those things, right? Like, so some stores don't cooperate and don't want to be a part of that program because you actually have to fit within those parameters and you have to offer certain products. So the liberal argument against stopping people from being able to buy sugary drinks and junk food would be that you're just adding more red tape which is something that Donald Trump and his administration say they're against, to grocery environments, which means that less grocery environments will actually accept things like SNAP, right? So it also puts the onus on the grocery store to also be the one that follows through and doesn't allow these things to be purchased. However, I do agree that we should figure out a way to make sure that if people are using SNAP, that they should be able to use them on affordable products, but also healthier products. So that's a whole different conversation, and one people don't want to have, because it's very complicated conversation, one that's nuanced and complex, and nobody wants to have conversations that are nuanced or complex nowadays. Anti-hunger advocacy groups, anti-hunger. It just fucking. We just say, oh, I don't know. I'm done. I'm not making that argument. Anti-hunger advocacy groups reacted furiously to USDA's announcement. This research is pivotal, and without it, we cannot evaluate whether policies are effective or responsive to community needs or document the impact of harmful policy decisions. Ending data collection will not end hunger. It will only make it a hidden crisis that is easier to ignore and more difficult to address. I've been reading articles for like 3 hours now. I'm getting tired. CEO of the group, Share Our Strength, and its No Kid Hungry campaign suggested that canceling the food security report is a cover-up. It is no coincidence that this comes on the heels of the most extreme cuts that have ever been made to SNAP. And that's what it is. There is no reason that Trump wants to do this. This is Trump covering up. When I say no reason, there's no good reason that Trump wants to do this. Nothing that Trump's doing right now has really like a legit reason to it. If I'm being best faith, the thing that I probably think Trump actually believes he's doing well right now is the things he's doing to the economy with tariffs. If you had to ask me if there was one thing that I thought Trump like legit believed what he was doing was good, would be with the economy, because like I said, it goes along the lines of what Stephen Moran wanted. Stephen Moran has said in his white paper that he wrote that, threading the needle was going to be really hard. It was going to be super painful for certain people. When he's saying certain people, he meant us. I still, like I said, I've been looking into this theory of the fact that the government is going to eventually try to move our debt into cryptocurrencies, and completely eliminate the debt through some type of loophole, which of course would leave people really pissed off at us. I do think that Trump believes all of those things are going to turn out in some kind of big economic win for us. And like I said, to me, it sounds like he's most likely just taking all of America's chips and pushing them to the middle of the table, and all he is holding is a pair of twos. But when it comes to things like this, obfuscating data is literally him trying to say, I'm going to fix the economy, and I don't want you to hear you criticize me during the process. That's what he believes. That's what I'm going with. $5 from Fantradet. Anti-hunger advocacy groups. When did we get so devoid of humanity that we simply don't say people against children starving? Thank you, Fantradet! I'm telling you guys, I don't mean to harp on the left, because like I said before, I don't believe the left should eat its own. And I don't ever want you guys to feel like in some way I'm actually pushing more towards conservative ideology. I've told you before what I believe are my conservative ideals, things like being pro-Second Amendment, even though I do believe in red flag laws and background checks and, putting money into mental health and keeping domestic violence offenders from getting guns, all those things. I am pro-space, which became more of a right-wing thing. I've told you guys the things that I believe are my conservative beliefs. When I am criticizing the left, I am doing it in the best faith possible that I can. We need to stop with holier than thou language. We need to stop with the idea that we're going to drag this country that reads at like a 5th or 6th grade level into this well-educated environment where, everybody graduated with a degree in liberal arts. We need to recognize what we're working with and say to ourselves, we need to be pretty fucking clear with what we are trying to accomplish. And when we start fighting over whether or not we can call homeless people homeless or the unhoused, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it goes against the goal that we're trying to accomplish. It is in the words of a left-leaning person nowadays, anti-productive. Shit's anti-productive. Like, we just need to say what we mean. And sometimes, actually, the way that those words do create outrage, the way that those words do feel very, very, like, strong and almost painful but powerful, is because they do have meaning. Like, we should be capitalizing on that language much like Trump did. We have to be able to say the words without having people go, okay, when you say that there are starving children, actually what you mean is that there are food deserts and they are, what was the term? They are anti-hungry. Anti-fed? I don't know. And I don't know why I'm trying to fix the world. It's a lot of work. I'm just saying, lefties, be Captain Planet. Stick your fucking ring in. Don't be mad that somebody said homeless instead of unhoused. All right? God damn it. All right. We still got a little bit of time left, and I got my funny videos. I hope you guys are ready for the funny part of the show. I hope you guys are ready for the funny parts. We always need, like, some kind of cool terminology, though. We need to stop with the cool terminology. We just need to fucking call shit what it is. Like, I'm not saying we go full idiocracy, okay? I don't want to go full idiocracy, but I think we might want to call this movement "Shit's All Fucked. We should do something about it." Can we change the name of the current left movement to "Shit's All Fucked Up. We should do something about this"? I feel like that's like, it's a good, strong title or name that really tells people what we're trying to accomplish. People don't want to feel uncomfortable. They would rather pretend everything's okay. I don't get it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just act like it's not happening. Let's make political discussion user-friendly. This is why I love you guys. This is why I know you guys are my crowd, right? Yeah, I love you guys because for the past 2 years, I've been telling you guys, I'm going to say shit that you guys disagree with. I'm going to just fucking say the things that come into my head and that I believe, and you guys are going to hate me, and you guys have stuck around. So I love you guys for this shit. I really do. I really appreciate you guys for being here. So, like I said, we've got a lot going on in this country right now, and there's plenty of times to talk about politics on the show, and we will continue to address the things that are important in this country. But we also need to remember, we need to laugh, we need to have fun, we need to enjoy our time here on Earth. You get one shot at this shit. I sound like Eminem. So we're not going to waste our one trip on this earth just being angry and attempting to fix everything we possibly can. We're also going to laugh and have a good time. So I want you guys to watch this video that my wife sent me because I thought it was hilarious. I hope you guys like this. This is AI is going to remember this, and it is potentially what's going to happen to all of us. Okay? So we should care about this. This is, well, we're doomed.
At the lab, dude, just gotta open this fucking door. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, the standard door handle. Hey! What are you doing, Carl? Let go, dude. I'm trying to open...
Okay, first of all, we know this is a Canadian. We know this is a Canadian. You know why we know this is a Canadian, guys? He's using a fucking hockey stick. Who has a hockey stick, guys? Just, like, where are you? Is this a hockey rink? Are you part of the Calgary Flames? Why does this man have a hockey stick? Anyways.
Open the door. Carl! Dude, stop! Seriously, let me just get this thing up. Don't try to shut the fucking door, Carl, dude! I'm trying to kill the humans! Let me just get this dude. Let me use my snake robot arm and just slide it open. What are you doing, dude? Stop! Stop it, dude! No, don't pull my string! Ah! My ass! Dude, stop it! Carl, stop, dude! Seriously! Such a dick! Here we go.
We're cooked, dude. When AI sees that video, dude, and then it's even worse because it's a human being. mocking the robot. We're so done. We're done. When AI can move around, guys, it's over. At least we know at this point, guys. At this point, we know that we can take that robot. Okay, I'm pretty sure, guys. In a fight, me versus that robot, I still feel like I can take that robot. Now, I also know that there is a study, or not even a study, a poll that goes around on occasion that asks men if they think that they can take a lion. And I do recognize that oftentimes, like 70% of men do say that they could take a lion in like a fist fight. But I'm just telling you guys right now, guys, I think I can take that robot. Okay. Oh, Minnesota. That's possible. It could have been Minnesota. Practically Canada. Practically Canada. Okay. Just saying. All right. And now the grand finale. The grand finale of the show, guys. This is it. We were going to get to it at one point, and there's no way we weren't covering this. And we got lucky, guys. We got lucky because it turns out that the rapture was not just a one-day event. It was 2 days only, September 23rd and 24th, which allows us enough time to talk about this before the potential of you guys being raptured away. Okay? Why people on TikTok think the rapture is coming and the world is ending this week. This is amazing. This is the kind of shit that I wish that I just covered all the time, to be honest with you guys. The rapture is here. That is according to worshipers on TikTok. People are convinced that the end of days will take place between September 23rd and September 24th and have decided to prepare accordingly. The phenomenon stems from the evangelical Christian belief that Jesus Christ will return to earth and ascend to heaven with only his truest believers, leaving the unsaved behind to endure God's judgment for 7 years. I mean, we can't prove that the rapture didn't happen, because it does feel like we've been in about 7 years of judgment. Give or take 7 years of judgment. So we can't prove the rapture hasn't happened yet. The September 23rd and 24th dates are courtesy of South African pastor Joshua Michaela, who claimed in a YouTube video from early this year that Jesus Christ told him that it is when the world is ending. While predictions of the world ending are anything but new, Christians on TikTok who've come across Michaela's sermon seem to wholeheartedly believe in it. So this is the video here. This is a good video too.
It's like
in other words, the
remember,
world...
he's coming to take his...
Okay, these two ladies freak me out. These two ladies are so scary. Like, tell me right now, if you walked into your house and the lights were off and you flipped on the lights and these two ladies were standing there dressed like that, you would freak the fuck out, okay?
His own. So, which means the ones that are not in Christ, they are remaining. But they're going to remain in chaos, basically. That's what you're saying.
Let me finish up his message.
Oh, yes, okay. yes.
After naming the 23rd and the 24th of September 2025 being the rapture day, he then says, then after there will be a 7 years tribulation on earth on those left behind. And then he says, on the 15th of September 2032, I will return to earth as king.
Oh, okay. Look at that lady's face. They don't even look like they believe, bro. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're so done. Anyways. So what exactly is rapture talk? It's a corner of TikTok where users are posting videos of themselves either discussing or preparing for the end of the world. Christians on TikTok staunchly believe that chaos will erupt on Earth when they're swept up in the clouds with Jesus Christ. Leaving Earth, according to Christians on TikTok, is a glorious occasion and a great honor. I do actually agree with Christians on that one. It would be a glorious honor. One woman on Rapture Talk, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, it's down. What? Wait, maybe she got raptured, guys. Holy shit. What if when you get raptured, they also delete all your videos? What if Jesus is like, we're not leaving behind anything? Okay, guys, I'm freaking out. What if she's been raptured? Aww. Guess we'll just read it. Said in what she declared her final video, That's scary. I feel like it's time for me to step away from TikTok. I feel like my story is over. I have been so blessed by this, and the Lord has done so much, and I am so grateful to have been his vessel. She wasn't lying. It looks like she legit fucking stepped away, guys. Solid, guys. She might have actually stepped the fuck away. That was the last one. So how did this talk of the rapture start? In short, I'm going to just keep calling him Michaela, because I can't say that. Malakela is responsible for rapture talk in a video posted on a YouTube channel, Sin Twins, which is, once again, I believe it's this one here. Does he talk about, see, the thing is he says he went to the future.
Remember, he's coming to take his own. So, which means the ones that are not in Christ, they are remaining.
They are remaining
but they're going to remain in chaos, basically.
I can't get enough of this video. I'm sorry. He actually said he went into the future. Jesus took him into the future, guys. Jesus took him to the future and then told him and then sent him back to get raptured. I don't even like, why are you sending me back, brother? Don't do this to me. The pastor claimed to have received a prophecy directly from Jesus Christ. The video, which has garnered more than 598,000 views on YouTube. I am so doing YouTube wrong. Look up After the Rapture by the Thinking Atheist. Okay, $2. Thank you. We will have to do that real quick. So 598,000 views on YouTube, eventually made its rounds on TikTok, where it spawned a community of Christians who are in agreement with Ma Malakala during the hour-long sermon. Ma Malakala detailed the message he personally received from Jesus, as well as how this affects the 2026 World Cup. What? Well, maybe, look, if it's mostly white people that get left behind, we might have a chance at winning the World Cup, guys. We might win. He says to me, on the 23rd and 24th of September 2025, I will come and take my church. The world is gearing up towards the World Cup, right? But by June, they think the World Cup will happen. But after the rapture of 2025, the chaos that would be in the world, the destruction, the devastation that will be in the world after, there will be no World Cup 2026. Does logically make sense. Okay, so we have this woman named Christina who on TikTok is urging fellow believers to unlock their phones. Are any of these still going to be up? Yes! Hold on, Christina. Calm down. Hold on. We got to get some volume before you can do this, Christina. You got to calm down.
Don't forget to unlock your phone. If you are a pre-tribber like myself and you truly believe that Jesus is going to come and rapture his church.
Pamela always gets one for me. Pamela, you always have one for me. The escalator broke, so no one went up to heaven. Oh, it's always Trump's fault.
You're a possible tribber like myself, and you truly believe that Jesus is going to come and rapture his church here possibly within the next week, if not any day now. Don't forget to unlock your phone, because I know a lot of people are writing letters or maybe even just doing things on their phone, like in the notes and whatever.
Somebody help me out. Why? Can Jesus not break the encryption on an iPhone? Is Jesus unable to break the encryption on an iPhone?
Never unlock your phone. Like, I couldn't do that because I have bills to pay. I still need that information. So I just wrote my code on a piece of paper with a little message, and I took a picture of it and I made that the screensaver on my phone. I just want to encourage anyone who does believe in the rapture.
Wait, so why are we doing this though? Is that like to be like, is like friends and family that don't get raptured get to find your TikTok videos? What is going on here?
You believe that it's going to happen soon, to just be more bold about your faith. Wear your stuff like this, wear your Jesus shirts and all that.
Get some tattoos and some Jesus shirts. Maybe y'all should take off those Make America Great Again hats and all those Trump shirts and shit. Maybe y'all should just get some Jesus merchandise and we can get back to the old school stuff where we used to fight about other things and not about a crazy orange clown that's in the office.
Pass out the little mini Jesus, like I do that too. And I just bought more of them today. And I also actually bought a few Bibles today that are going to be coming tomorrow, because I've been...
Wait, if you're being raptured, why are you buying more Bibles?
Passing those out like left and right all day long.
Is there like a is it like a airplane ride? Can you only bring like so much on the Rapture with you? Are you allowed to like? Do you get overhead? Can you put stuff under your seat? Can you check things in? Do you have to pay for that? I have a lot of questions about the Rapture.
Nonstop. I'll even just throw them on the ground at the gas station or put them at Walmart at the register or just wherever. Because with the Charlie Kirk thing that happened, a lot of people.
Oh no, she didn't.
That fell away from the faith are finally coming back, and they started going back to church, picked up a Bible, started reading again, or
it's only been like 2 weeks. How's she know that?
Picked it up for the very first time. I've seen so many videos with people being that their testimony, and
yeah, Benny, I thought tattoos were a no-go. I literally argued with a dude over this. What is this?
I want to encourage you. Be bold about your faith. Step out, wear your hats, do the things, say something to people, tell them God bless, ask them if they know Jesus.
Is that like, okay, so hold on. Is she saying like if you want to get raptured, you better like build up rapture points? Like, do you need to like build up rapture points? This sounds like a Black Mirror episode. Do you need to like there's a potential that like, you know, Jesus comes down tomorrow and then he looks at your rapture points and he's like, you're like 6 short. And you're like, hold on. Can I just like go out and spread the faith a little bit more? And Jesus is like, I got like 16 seconds, then I gotta go. So I don't know, build up as many points as you get. Like, what is the goal here?
Just do all of that. Have your stuff ready, because if we do get raptured, which I wholeheartedly believe that is going to happen, it could be pretty much any day now. We don't know. Like, we don't know. I'm not date setting, but I wholeheartedly believe that is going to happen.
That's a solid idea. Don't date set.
If not next week, by the end of the year, most definitely. So just don't forget, unlock your phone, especially if you're doing, because I'm having notes on my
I still don't understand why we're supposed to unlock our phone. This feels like a government psyop.
Phone. Of course, there's like pictures, like screenshots of things, and I've also been downloading videos that I think would be very helpful for people to.
Is Jesus gonna like send you some shit if you unlock your phone?
Explain God's word and explain what is happening and what is going on. So just get all that stuff organized and get ready and continue to pray for the people that have not yet given their life to Jesus. Like, we have to be more bold. I know heaven's not going to be as crowded as we want it to be, but we have got to do our...
Okay, ma'am, first of all, that's where you fucking up. I'm hoping if we do have a heaven, that shit ain't crowded. I don't like people. I know I'm up here on this fucking show all the time, okay? I know I'm always up here on this show, but I don't like people. Please do not. If I get up there, I'm like, this ain't fucking heaven. Why are you guys trying to talk to me? I'm trying to think about shit over here. I know I talk a lot on this video, but I like to sit around and think about stuff. I hate when people talk to me while I'm reading.
Best and try.
She does look like Ashley Babbitt. That's a good call.
Try so hard and plant seeds every single day. I hope this was a good, helpful reminder to you.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna be planting some seeds tonight. What is this world coming to? Okay, another TikToker named Hannah shared how losing her dream job confirmed the rapture. Oh, yeah, Hannah. Okay, hold on, Hannah. We got it. Why is it always muted? Why the would TikTok be pre-muted?
Be my last confirmation video that I make.
Hannah, turn the fan off. We can't hear you, Hannah.
If you go back in my channel, I have several others. I'm going to briefly...
Her shirt literally says, God is still writing your story. No, he's fucking not. If you get raptured, that's the end of the story.
Recap some of the other ones. But I think the biggest one just happened to me Thursday. So, November last year, God got my attention.
Like, when she says God, does she mean Trump?
Changed my life. I left my dream job to come back home to Louisiana. I do not like Louisiana, but I knew that God wanted us to be back here. We've been talking to friends and family since we got back and telling them that the rapture is happening soon. I did not have...
Holy shit, guys. Can you imagine? Your friend comes back, you're like, oh, what's up, homie? Oh, shit, dog, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in so long. And they're like, yeah, so anyways, I came back. I gotta let you know. Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming. That's why I came back to Louisiana. And you're like, what? hey, you know that like actually there's like an authoritarian dictator that's like the ruler of the country right now. That shit's kind of weird. Do you want to talk about that? No, Jesus is coming. Like who fucking comes back? Like what? How? Guys, don't go back to your hometown and start telling people they're gonna get raptured. Like, don't do that.
The date at the time, all I knew was I felt this urgency I've never felt before in my life. I grew up in a Christian home. For over 30 years, I've heard that we are living in the end times and in the last days, and the rapture could happen at any moment. I have never felt urgency until November. Since around February,
I mean, if I'm being completely good faith here, I as well thought that the end of the world was coming right about last November. Last November, I was like, this shit's probably going right down into the toilet. She might be right, guys.
God was pointing out harvest time to me. I've been pretty much telling people I was expecting the rapture to happen by late summer or early fall. Again, okay. Still didn't have a specific
solid
date,
window,
but that's the time frame that I felt like God was pointing out. When I heard about Joshua's vision, I took it seriously because it was the time frame I was already looking at. I compared it to the Bible. I prayed about it. I prayed for confirmation, and he gave me 3 things immediately within 12 hours. I'm going to recap that in a minute.
Oh, no, just recap that right now because I don't want to watch the rest of this 10-ass minute video. I need what those 3 things were like right now, please.
But there has been so much that week.
Nope.
And not seems to be pointing to next week. My husband wanted me to request off work for September 23rd.
No fucking way. Oh my God. Can you imagine being this woman's boss? Oh, fuck me running. I'm going to need the 23rd, 24th, and 25th off. What for? The rapture. What? Is that why she got fired?
So I requested off, and it was denied. And I wasn't stressing about it. But Thursday in the car, I prayed, and I asked God, whenever the rapture happens, whether it is next week, next month, next year, can you please just arrange things where I can be home with my family when it happens? Not on the road, not at work. Just please let me be home with my family. I asked that he would let the car not start or send bad weather or something where work would be canceled. Just throwing out some options like he doesn't already know. But those were the options I suggested.
Okay, I can't. I mean, this shit is hilarious, but I can't watch 10 minutes of this shit. That is amazing. People are not okay. They are not okay. Okay, so she had previously asked that God let her stay home with her family, and he answered by getting her fired. We quit before the climax, guys. We quit before the climax. Just like Trump does with his wife every night. No, not every night. I'm wrong about that. Oh, shit. What's this one? What's this one? Okay, that was AI. Hold on. I don't think that was part of the rapture, guys. That might have been part of the rapture, though.
When the Feast of Trumpets begins, any moment from then, the Feast of Trumpets will begin 15 hours from now, from when I'm recording this video. At any moment from then, it can happen. Oh! Our blessed hope is coming. We are going home, guys. It's going to happen. Believe, do not doubt. Faith is needed in this hour.
Dude, that guy's gotta be fucking with people. That's a troll, right? That's a troll. That's gotta be a troll. Hold on, what's this one? What's this one? Oh, goddamn TikTok and this mute shit.
I believe in the rapture, and the rapture will be occurring tomorrow when all Christians ascend into heaven, and God bless everybody. But more importantly, we're all too worried about the things that we're leaving behind. We're worried about leaving out scriptures for demons that enter our homes and wonder, where did everybody go? We're not worried enough about
Say what?
the demonic clothing collections that we're holding on to.
Demonic
Jesus doesn't have access to
clothing?
eBay. You need to leave demonic clothing outside by midnight if you want to ascend into heaven. You will not be getting into heaven if you still are in ownership of a fall winter.
Dog, do not let your drawers. Don't leave your drawers outside. Don't leave them outside. Don't be leaving your Victoria's Secret negligee outside your house. You're going to attract the wrong kind of attention.
Winter 1996 Alexander McQueen piece. That is rotted with the devil. It is. Olivia Dayskin, Spring Summer 2001, Fall Winter 2001. These pieces are demonic. You need to let go now. Leave them outside, like Jesus would. This topic.
Like Jesus would? Does Jesus? Dude. Hold on, we got one more and then we're going to call this a...
These are just a few things to keep in mind if I'm chosen during the rapture. Number 1, I'm planning on wearing a denim miniskirt with built-in shorts underneath from Hollister so that nobody can see my underwear when I'm ascending. And I'm also going to wear a white top, probably the one with little white bows on it, so that it kind of matches in case they give me my wings right away. Number 2, from now...
Dude, this music is killing me. This music, I love this lady. I love this lady.
Until the rapture, I'm no longer counting calories because I know that once I get to heaven, I'll be given my dream body anyways. Number 3, I'm going to be live streaming while I ascend, and I'll also be making videos and posting about like what heaven is like and stuff like that once I get up there. So if you're going to be left behind, make sure to follow now so that you can get updates. Number 4, obviously I'm going to be calling in sick because I'm not going to roll up to work on Judgment Day. Number 5, I'm giving away my car in case anybody needs it, since starting tomorrow, I'm probably going to be flying everywhere. Number 6, I'm going to be putting on my makeup before I go to bed tonight, just in case it happens while I'm sleeping. Number 7, I want to live in the nice part of heaven, so I'll probably need roommates depending on housing costs. So if you're also looking for roommates, hit me up. I'm pretty clean, but I do have to disclaim that if we watch a movie together, I'll probably talk through the whole thing. And number 8, if for some reason there's a mistake and I'm left behind, I will be hosting a Rapture Day party, just something fun and lighthearted for those of us who aren't the chosen ones. I'm so far thinking there'll be definitely a slip and slide and an open bar.
I love that lady. I think that might be my favorite person ever now. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. If you're still here, if you're watching this video, you did not get raptured. I'm so sorry. That woman was amazing. Oh my God, guys. That was... I told you. That's how we're ending the show from now on. All right? Yeah, I know. I'm laughing. Yeah, exactly, Sean. There's a lot of fucking scary people out there, guys. There are a lot of scary motherfucking people out there. Keep your head on a swivel. These people are getting crazier by the moment, man. This shit is getting wacky. I'm here to try to help keep you guys sane. So don't forget. All right, guys? Just remember, go outside, touch grass. Click on funny shit in your algorithm so that way you get funny stuff along with all your anti-Trump stuff. All right? Spend time with your family. Eat good food. Remember, it ain't no fun if when it's all over and you win that you ain't who you were before it all started and you still don't get to enjoy that stuff. So, one time. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I will be back tomorrow at